T-minus 1 minute.
What?
More juice for the hero.
Like the juice.
T-minus 50 seconds.
At the point where we're at, it is a lot easier for new people to get up to speed really quick.
T-minus 40 seconds.
Let's go. That's a W. That's E1. That's E1. That's a W. How many people want to eat a W tonight?
T-minus 30 seconds.
Rick Hill taking over our camera. I think there may be a penalty for excessive celebration, but you know what? I'm going to let that one slide.
T-minus 20 seconds.
That's what I'm talking about. Now y'all some fun.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5,
Take a deep
4,
breath.
3,
This is it, right
2,
here.
1, 0.
Oh, welcome back to the Football Card Quest. Happy holidays, man. We're ready to take you guys into 2023. If the season ended today, not only Justin Herbert, but also Trevor Lawrence would be making the playoffs, guys. So we've got a lot to get to tonight. What happened to Steve? Steve was literally just, I swear, guys, Steve was just here. I don't know what happened to him. You guys scared him away already? We got Ramrod in the house. Let's dig in. Derek Richard, KJ Jefferson's lighting up. Got some bowl games going down tonight, guys. I'm looking at Kansas versus Arkansas right now on ESPN. This cat, KJ Jefferson, over on University of Arkansas, absolutely shredding it up here. And I checked to see if he's got any rookie cards. He doesn't yet. He is 2023 draft eligible, just a guy to keep your eye on. They'll probably print him in Leaf and Collegiate National Treasures, kind of stuff like that next year. I pulled his profile up too, man. Just like KJ Jefferson looks pretty good in terms of the speed, the 4.69, 93rd percentile, 40 time, 94th percentile speed score. Tearing it up right now in the bowl game. Let's go. Derek Richards going to be giving us live bowl game updates in the chat tonight. Cheers from Minnesota. What's going on, Chad? Chad is crushing it on the quest. Crushing it. Break out the shorts and sandals. What's going on? Swamp Donkey off grid. What are you guys getting into tonight? We're going to be going through. There he is. Steve.
What's up, man? Minor technical difficulties, but we got it all sorted out.
All right, right on. Well, you know, that's okay, man, because there's some other things that you're doing a really good job at. We're gonna talk about that here in a second, man. But how was your Christmas, man? How you doing? You ready for 2023?
Made it through the minus 33 wind chill, and car started up just fine. I didn't turn into an icicle. It was nice, man. A little time with the family, a little gift openings and whatnot. Family member got me a blaster box of Absolute. That was kind of nice. No big hits. Got a couple of beers that I really enjoyed, though. So it was good. How about you?
Yeah, man. Fantastic. It's been really cold here, actually, in Tampa. You know, that's always different. You know, we typically have like a 70 or 80 degree Christmas. This year, it was like actually in the 30s and 40s. But everybody is fantastic, man. Santa Claus was great to us. And so, you know, we're happy, enjoying a little R&R here in the holiday season. I wish I was in the fantasy playoffs in all my paid leagues, all our paid leagues on the quest. We want to shout out some people in the fantasy championships, like our man here, Steve, the eBay Hitman Caladesi. As you guys can see, he's in the championship of our Superflex Chrome League. That's one league. He's actually in the championship of two of our paid leagues. This is a paid league right here. I pull up his roster. He's got Justin Herbert, Dalvin Cook, Tony Pollard. Let's go. Amon-Ra St. Brown. You know, Steve's been beating the drum for him since he was like drafted. Jalen Waddle, Pat Freiermuth, Aaron Jones, Deontay Johnson, Keenan Allen, and Jared Goff. Steve, how long this season have you had Jared Goff in your Superflex spot?
Every week.
Let's go.
When you believe in someone, you stick with them, man.
Steve rocking the Jared Goff in his super flex spot. And guess what, guys? He's in the championship game. Let's hope Justin Herbert throws a couple more touchdowns this week for you. And you seal that victory over Ramsey 10-27. Got a shout out to Ramsey there. The Card Content Creator Bowl. You and I have both been eliminated from the playoffs in this one, but we'll shout out no off season, man. The founder and the director over there at No Off Season, Paul Hickey, in the championship game against Hoops and Cards Gary. He knocked me out in the last round. So I got knocked out this past week in the semifinals there. And then in the Rookie Ticket Auto Bowl, I think this is one where, let's see who's in the finals. I think I might be. No, I got knocked out last week by J-Hoff 50-27. So again, knocked out there in the semifinals. Steeler 15,000, Ridley 18. So it's Steeler 15,000, which I think is Steeler 97 if he's out there in the chat in the Discord. And J-Hoff 50-27 there. Shout out to those guys in the championship game there. And then our short print bowl. The short print bowl we've got. So let's see what we've got in the championship game here, Steve. Cardboard Biz. Shout out to Cardboard Biz, man. I know the Biz is out there somewhere. And Sasquatch. That's going to be a tight match. Look at those projections there. You just got knocked out in this one. And you just got knocked out in a home league that you had as well, right, Steve? Like you were playing against your dad, I think you told me, in the semifinals.
Yeah, it's like year 14 or 15 in the keeper league. Same guys have been together since the beginning. And I was playing my dad in the semis. He had me up by 40. Figured it was over. I kept faith alive. I lost by 1 in a not so exciting fashion. I don't know if you remember earlier in the game, Keenan Allen supposedly stepped out of bounds on a breakaway touchdown, and that would have sealed it for me. Ended up just needing just 1 catch, which they didn't do at the end of the game. They opted to run it up the gut and just kneel it a few times, and that was a painful way to lose, man. But went out with guns blazing, and obviously I'm planning to be back next year, so just keep on chugging.
Crushing it, man. You're crushing it, dude, because you're in the championship, the Superflex Chrome. But then we go to our 2 dynasty leagues. There's a pretty solid buy-in in this league with a pretty big prize pool. You got Cardboard Biz and Aaron Ruth in the Dynasty YG Superflex. So Biz, once again, Biz is absolutely on fire this year as well. I am like, dude, I did terrible now. I'm like already in rebuild mode. First year of the Dynasty League, I'm in rebuild mode. But I did have like Breece Hall. I got Treylon Burks. I got some rookies on this squad that, next year. I'm looking forward to next year. But in the Quest Dynasty OG League, I got knocked out of the first round of the playoffs. You actually made it to the finals. You knocked me out in the first round with a massive 265-point score. Then you destroy Brady in the semifinals with a 209 score. And now you're up against Bills Mafia, Troop 20 in the finals this week for the championship game. So shout out to you and Troop 20 for that Dynasty appearance here. Dynasty Superflex with IDPs, a super deep league, a lot of fun. And, man, good luck this week, dude.
Thank you, man. I'm actually really glad we added those IDP positions because I used to really enjoy those leagues, and I just don't see them around anymore. If we do manage to find one next year, Andy, I'd love to do it again.
All right. And the one, I will say, I am in the championship game, actually, in our one last paid league I didn't bring up yet with Seagulls. Against Seagulls, I'm in the championship game here. This is our Quest Superflex Best Ball League. So Derek Richards actually in this one. This is where I'm in. Auto pick Andy. I changed my name to Short Print Studs. I don't know. There's one league I am auto pick Andy, but this one I changed my name to Short Print Studs. And I'm going up against Seagulls in the championship game. I've been doing pretty good. 10-4, Seagulls 11-3. I've got Josh Allen, Leonard Fournette, Cordell Patterson, which there's a new RB1 emerged in Atlanta based on role and production. That's Tyler Algier, which you were higher on him coming into the season. You like Tyler Algier. And he has surfaced there as an RB1. CeeDee Lamb, who has actually emerged as a much higher ceiling than what we initially thought. So CeeDee Lamb becoming very, very good in his role and position on his team. Michael Pittman, and not too excited there, but I got Travis Kelce to pull up the rear of my tight end spot. Treylon Burks in the flex could be interesting against Dallas tomorrow night. James Cook, Isaiah Spiller. I mean, this is super flex, so I imagine that some guys are going to be subbed in. Trevor Lawrence in my super flex, though, has been incredible. Speaking of Trevor Lawrence, brought it up at the beginning of the show. There I got Christian Kirk, you see, Kendrick Bourne, MVS, Russell Gage, Gerald Everett. So there's guys that in the best ball format, I'll automatically get the points for who has the best score. So speaking of Trevor Lawrence, they beat the Jets. There's my man. Jets crazy. I'm looking for you, bro. We're just getting ready to shout you out. Jets mailing me the Joe Burrow canvas rated rookie as part of our card versus card bet that we made last Thursday night. The chance to bench Zach Wilson got through. The crowd, I'm sure Jets was one of those guys, maybe. I know he wanted Mike White out there, but they settled for Chris Streveler. And the undrafted wild cowboy from 2018, played in the Canadian Football League, gets in there, runs the ball a little bit, like a tough, bruising looking, like pretty solid quarterback. Made a couple decent passes too, just wasn't enough coming down the stretch there to couldn't keep up with the Jags, right? And Jags get the win. If the season ends today, the Jags are in, the Titans are out. Steve, who do you think is going to get in here between the Titans and Jags? Titans have Dallas tomorrow night, but I think it's pretty much inconsequential. So they could be resting a lot of their starters to prepare for playing the Jaguars in week 18.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know who Tennessee's playing the rest of the way, but with that quarterback change, I just don't see it, man. It could look like, due to a series of unfortunate events, the Jaguars could very well win the division now. And I didn't think that the Titans would fall that hard, but it's just, I don't see it happening with the Malik Willis. He's still too raw, still too just too raw. He's not going to be able to pull it together for them, I don't think.
So the Jaguars play the Texans this week. The Titans play the Cowboys. And then next week, the Titans play the Jags. The Jags play Titans. So it literally is coming to a head in week 18 for the AFC South. Now, granted, it's still the AFC, and they're going to have to face, some version of Kansas City. The Chargers are clinched. Like, this is the first time since Phillip Rivers days the Chargers have actually clinched the playoff spot. This is big for Justin Herbert and crew, even though Justin Herbert really didn't throw any touchdowns. It didn't throw any touchdowns on Monday night. And like you said, there was a sheesh moment where he should have had one. And then they sat on the lead, just kind of cruise to a win there. But he has been a lot of a game manager. They leaned on that run game, and I think they are starting to play better defense. And granted, the Colts aren't very much of a competition. You had. And we talked about Nick Foles. Like, what did we expect? I'm surprised they didn't put Sam Ellinger out there, but the offensive line is just bad. It's just bad. Colts season is done, right? So, I'm looking at Jags as getting in, man.
I think if you started, I know I started in a bunch of DFS weekly leagues, Chargers defense. I also started Houston defense, quite a few leagues too. And you saw the writing on the wall. You're like, yeah, it's Houston defense. They're going to get rocked, but not so much, man. Going against a team that week, anyone that's playing the Colts, which is the Giants this week, start the Giants defense. I think the Jags are probably going to hang on to it at this point.
Yeah, baby. Yeah, baby. Derek wants to get on some playoff best ball. Star that up. We definitely got to talk about that. And we got to get over to Underdog Fantasy tonight for sure. That's going to be a part of the stream. We got to get on some live eBay sniping. That's part of the stream. Doing some comping here. Got Trevor Lawrence rook cards pulled up on the screen currently. Including a rookie. Jet says, including a rookie auto to the winner of the Rook Card League when I send you the Joe Burrow. Okay, awesome, man. You are the man, Matt. You're a good man. Steve's got his camera fixed. We're in the game, brother. We're in the game. So,
speaking of Underdog, Andy, before we get too carried away here, there's actually a couple 12-person drafts we did with the community. And I don't know if they're still showing up for you. I think like 4 or 5 of them are showing up for me still, but some we did with the community here where I don't know about you, but I'm in first or second in a couple of them here with some other guys from in here. Oh, there you are. You're in third on that one. So yeah, these go till the end of the regular season, if I recall. Is that correct?
I think they go through week 17. I think they go through this final week. They I may be wrong. They may go through week 18. Let's see.
Week 17. Okay. I trust Derek. He's the best ball master.
I thought it was week 17. Let's see. All rules. Yeah, I'm sure. I trust Derek. If that's what Derek said, then I mean he only drafted like 1,200 best ball teams. So I don't think. Okay, it does say winnings 36. So it looks like I got some. Yeah.
Yeah, 2022 season, because those are the ones we drafted after this. Yeah, that's the right one.
Oh, there we go. 6-person draft. I got second. I got one. I'm in first in one 12-person draft, a $3 entry, third, a $5 entry. So, guys, if you're new to the channel, you're unfamiliar what this is. Look at this one that I'm winning here, up by almost 20 points. We're on UnderdogFantasy.com. They are a partner of the Quest here. It's a perfect natural marriage because everything they have, right? They have a variety of different fantasy football drafts that you can do, and you don't have to worry about roster configuration on a week-to-week basis. You don't have to worry about hunting the waiver wire. You can spend all that time on eBay or doing other things, whatever you enjoy doing, if it's hobby related, right? So you just draft a team, and then they'll automatically give you the optimized points, the best points available for whoever's on your team. And then they also have the pick'ems. We did a pick'ems last week. We actually did pretty good, all things considered. We got 2 out of 5 picks right on each of our slips, which I told you guys the highest probability of winning and plus EV situation is only doing 2. And we nailed the Kirk Cousins. We went over on Kirk Cousins and Justin Jefferson, got that. Missed the Jacoby Myers. We talked about how fragile like a interception or a touchdown is. We didn't hit the Travis Kelce touchdown. We barely missed the Chris Godwin over on that. And that was weird game script. And then the Thursday night slip that we put in, we had a little mixed here. We didn't hit the Garrett Wilson. Game script didn't unfold. We smashed the Trevor Lawrence rushing yards, though, Steve. And we didn't smash, but we cleared the Jamar Chase receiving yards. We knew that was a good line. Did not get the Mac Jones interception on Sunday against Cincinnati. Did not hit the over on Ramondre Stevenson. But we got 2 solid picks on each one of those slips right. And we're going to do some more tonight, man. This is, if you guys want to get in on the action, UnderdogFantasy.com. Promo code QUEST gets you a 100% instant deposit bonus, and you can play with us tonight, guys.
Heck yeah, man. I will say that you guys got me loving best ball, man. I do love standard draft formats. I'll still do them next year. I'll probably always still do them. But not only did I do, in my opinion, a lot of best ball this year, I probably did like 12 to 15 drafts. I'll probably do like, maybe not Derek level crazy, but I'm planning to do like 50 to 100 next year.
Yeah, 50 to 100. That's about my sweet spot, man. I think we can easily get in 50 to 100 because we're going to start after Super Bowl's over. As soon as they fire up their big board and you get those early drafts going, we're in on it. We're going, man, because we can take advantage of those early ADP inefficiencies. Players add value in the free agency and draft time period. Kind of like we want to talk about it tonight too. Some of the highest ranked players in the NFL that are going to be free agents this upcoming year. Because one thing that I think is really important for everybody out there to understand in terms of football card buying and selling is that January going the past 2 years has been one of my best sales months, Steve. My best sales month besides September. And then again in like April. January, though, has actually been better for me than September and April. But absolutely love Absolutely love January for football cards. It's absolutely fantastic. The activity right now on eBay is popping off. It's really good for a variety of reasons, Steve. I think it's combination of the year end, the holidays, all that kind of stuff, culminating with the playoffs and everything that's going on in the NFL. How exciting it is right now, and I think that. In terms of supply, Steve, what's your take on right now, like from what you're seeing on eBay in terms of overall supply and demand and on your side?
Yeah, I mean, as always, there's always going to be some listings that slip through the cracks, especially if they're listed at, to end at bad times like noon or anytime during the day. But I mean, I've been trying to look for stuff to fall through the cracks later at night. I mean, stuff's really not going for, what you would call like end of the season or eliminated team prices just yet. So I think people are still up on football. We've talked about this a lot, and I've actually started to see this covered on some other channels. And football cards, I think, are slept on. I think they're slept on because baseball, basketball always get the merit for being like number one, number two in the hobby. But all you got to do is go to the store and look at the shelves, and there's no retail football product anywhere. So at least in this state, there isn't. And from what I'm hearing from people that go to a lot of the shows, a lot of the younger collectors, they're all asking for, Herbert, Burrow, Lamar, mostly football stuff. So I think that bodes well going forward.
Yeah, totally. So looking at some questions, the chat is popping off over here. Love it. Jay Buin, Dylan Studer, I think maybe new to the channel, is looking for something, best research for finding information on a card. A lot of different resources. www.tcdb.com, tradingcarddatabase.com is going to show you all the different rookie cards that are available for any player, all the sets they're printed in, and then all of the inserts and different parallels they have for any given set. And that would give you information. If it's value-wise, yeah, eBay sold items is going to be your best friend. So I'm like super zoomed in here. But one of the first things that I like to do, and what Steve just alluded to, is when you type in a player like 2021 Trevor Lawrence, this eBay sold items button down here, you scroll down, you can find it on the left, show only sold completed items. You can do the same thing from your phone app. It's got to become your best friend. However, this only goes back 90 days, and it can be a seed to wade through all of this information. So if you're trying to get a gauge of like the overall stock for a player, then you want to look at something like, our Keep 'em football card prices web app. And you get access to this just by going to patreon.com/footballcard. Check it out. You can get access to this with any of our membership tiers. But the way we filter this, and this is only graded cards, because the thing with football cards, Steve, I know you agree with me on this, is condition and quality of photographs. When you have a PSA 10, the photograph doesn't have to be perfect. And you don't have to have the most detailed photograph, because you see the PSA 10 and you know what it's going to be in that slab with that grade. Now, there's debate between the PSA 10, the BGS 9.5, SGC 10, which grading company is most strict. Yes, PSA has let some stuff slip through the cracks, but I digress. To gauge like the stock of a player, this is a great way to do it, because we can filter and look at their most sold graded cards in the past 30 days, and you can see that it's up. Base honors is up 20%. Base optics is up 61%. Photo variation up 25%. Just a very quick, easy tool to use and look at like kind of the overall market indicators for a player.
Yeah, I'd be curious to see later in the show where the Dak rookies are going, because I think we've been talking about it since last year that they've been pretty much in the tank. But as you see, Dallas is really starting to play better now, and a lot of that is hinged on how well he's playing.
The Prism PSA 10 2016 has not really budged, but there's only been 21 sales on this in the past month, and it only has a pop of 1,362. That's like 3,000 lower than 2020 quarterbacks, like whether it's Joe Burrow, Justin Herbert, looking at their Prism. But the 2016 Prism is nice. It has a high gem rate. Look at that PSA 10 count to the PSA 9 count. And if we actually do a compare, and I've done this before, Steve, I would love to look at this. Derrick Henry versus Dak. Look at that. Look at that chart right there. A running back from 2016 versus Dak, and Derrick Henry has over half fewer PSA 10 base donors. Now we're looking at the base donors from 2016. That rated rookie portrait photo. Dak with a pop of 1,500 again. Green line, a little bit higher, but not much, man. Honestly, they've been kind of going back and forth, a little volatility there, a little, variance on a week-to-week basis. I find that as an interesting chart value comparison because when I look at 2016, it's hard for me to put Dak next to Jared Goff. I mean, I would love to, but at the same time, I mean, there's just been so much elevated demand for Dak over the past couple of years, like Derrick Henry, that when I put him up next to Jared Goff, I see Dak's Prism PSA 10 is at a 250. The Jared Goff is at 86. And it's yet to be seen if the Lions are actually going to make the playoffs and how much impact this is going to make. But I do think, to your point, Steve, that this win this past week against the Eagles when they got into that shootout game against the Mississippi Mustache, that was kind of like the turning point. I think you can kind of see here there's been a positive trend of 10% and 17% on these other Dak cards, 50% on the select here, up to a new trend of $110. That's a good buy it now right there. Look at that, brother. 16-day flip. Just over 2-week flip from 55.50 in an auction to 110 buy it now. Tuesday, December 27th at 12:05 p.m. yesterday.
Yeah. No, and I think that if I mean they're going to make the playoffs, but I think that if they go past the first round, you're going to see an exponential jump. I think that a lot of people maybe weren't sold on him because he has been kind of a little bit of a roller coaster since that injury, but I think he's pretty much entrenched there now. The defense is going to be able to keep them in more games, and they have 2 viable running backs.
Yeah, 2 viable running backs.
CeeDee Lamb playing well above his expectation too.
Well above. Are you going to get in on any 2022 Mosaic releases in just 2 days? The product is scheduled to release. I don't know if you've seen the design yet. If you like it at all, that's Razzle Dazzle. Oh boy, it's got a little 90s vibe to it.
Ooh man, that's nice.
Rookie autograph.
You know me in Mosaic, man. That's one of my favorite sets. I feel like it's pretty polarizing. You either really like Mosaic or you really don't, and I think I really like it.
I think what's interesting about it is if you compare it to the sets that are out now for the 2022 class. And by the way, this is important, Steve. I know it's important to you. It's going to be important to a lot of people out here. Mr. Relevant, Brock Purdy, who's leading the San Francisco 49ers to a potential Super Bowl run this year, is in this set. He's on the checklist. He's got an autograph card in this set. So I expect this set to do well. If you guys weren't aware of that, yes, he is. I got a shout out to the nice person who commented on my Questcast yesterday with Carter and told me that, yes, Brock Purdy is on the Mosaic checklist. So I think this set's going to do pretty well because of that, because you compare it to the sets that are out for him, like the Elite or the Chronicles, draft picks and stuff like that. This is nice, man. We got pro uniforms going, chrome finishes, some pretty cool designs. I know you're a big fan. And that's the base design right there. That's the base design.
I'll be looking for some Aiden Hutchinson blue, maybe a serial numbered blue one.
There you go. Get a little piece of that number 1 overall pick number 2 overall pick to the Detroit Lions from last year. The hometown boy, Aiden Hutchinson. Maybe the Lions get in. If we look at the current power rankings, Lions are falling down here to 22nd with a 19% chance, according to PFF, to get into the playoffs now at this point. But I mean, they're on the bubble, man. They're on the bubble. They got the Bears this weekend. What's your prediction for this game against the Bears?
The Lions have been virtually unbeatable at home, so I think it's going to be a blowout.
Yeah, I mean they got all their weapons, and defense has been playing a lot better the second half of the season. It's just too bad that they have nobody in their secondary. But I feel like, you guys have literally no wide receiver core, and it's like just Justin Fields out there running around. So I'm sure he can put up some points on his legs alone. I know he can. He can score against anybody. He can score from anywhere on the field. I think he's proven that at this point this year, right, Steve?
I wonder if they'll take a page out of the Carolina Panthers playbook and just rush about like 60 times. And what do they rush for? 350 yards against Denver?
Oh, man, it was insane. It was insane.
If you had Carolina running backs on your DFS daily sheets, you did pretty well last week.
Oh, let's go. Let's go. I'm looking at values differences between fields. Definitely falling off, but that prism. Now, Trevor Lawrence, this is where the web app is interesting because Trevor Lawrence, we found a total anomaly in Trevor Lawrence's prism. He's got an incredibly low gem rate on his prism specifically. The pop count is literally in the double digits. It's that low compared to, for example, here it is. Here it is right here. The pop count is only 106. 106. Whoever bought this today at 11 a.m., there was a buy it now that ended for $80, was an absolute steal. PSA 10. Somebody got a steal, and maybe that was a newly listed item. So that's important. Like if you are hunting, see, I pulled up KJ Jefferson here earlier in the stream. If you are hunting, like I'm going to pull up Trevor Lawrence, Prism, PSA 10. Let's go with sold items. Oof. Hey, you saw one for 400. This card get pretty pricey just because of the low pop count. It's a very popular card. It's going to be up there as most popular card. Yeah, new listing. New listing. That's what it is, Steve. A guy listed it up, didn't know what he had, didn't know what he was doing. Either that or he had very little money invested into it. Yeah, it's a newer seller. JPAR 1010. We love you, JPAR. Or whoever bought this from you loves you because you just gave him a hell of a steal. Because you go back to the chart, it's like there was just an auction ended Monday for $230. I bet you this card was not listed on eBay for more than 5-10 minutes. Yeah. Because that's one of those things where you have a search saved for 2021 Prism Trevor Lawrence, and you get that notification, and you immediately go and you see something like that, boom, it's gone. And you look at it. I mean, I wonder if we can see when it was actually put up. So it was sold 10:59 a.m. this morning. I don't know if we'll be able to see unless we're the actual seller when it was actually the listing actually started. But the fact that it says new listing means it is very, very recent. Wait. The listing has ended. The seller relisted this item or one like this. Wait a minute. Did he list it wrong?
It's actually a 9.
Oh, wow. Okay. How do you get that wrong? I mean,
They
9 and 10.
They probably used someone else's listing as a template and didn't change the description.
Oh, good catch. Good catch.
So that would have been an insane buy at that price.
Good catch, Matt, Steve. Yeah, check that out. So there you go. You dig down that because I was gonna say that's a 230 right there, right from December 21st even to December 26th, before and after the Jets' victory. We're talking about a nice little $50 increase in that card, and it's not going to go down because at any time this could easily be an eBay 101. Look at the pop count of his PSA 9, 624 compared to 106 10s and 451 8s. That is unheard of for ultra modern cards. So I've talked to a few people. If you guys have any other insight into why his gem rate is so low on his prism, because you look at Justin Fields and you see a pop count on a 10 of 825. And then 487 9s and 68s. Like, it's just a ridiculous, such a polarizing difference. And we've seen this with Mac Jones, who Mac Jones may not be in the league much longer. He keeps trying to take guys' legs out and stuff, and trying to cleat. Like he cleated Jaquan Brisker in the Family Jewels. They tried to take out some dude's legs last week. Like every week, Mac Jones is like taking some kind of dirty blow. I don't know what it is, man. What's going on with this guy? But he's got a high pop count on his graded cards because he was the guy who broke out in his rookie season, went to Alabama on the Patriots. They went nuts thinking he was the next coming of Tom Brady. And now you can look at that trend down to $24 for that PSA 10. At one point, this was a $2,500 card. Believe it or not, last year around this time, like maybe a couple weeks prior to this is like a $2,000 card. Let's see if we go like the 1 year chart. Like this card was crazy. It's actually before this, so this goes back to March 2022. If we were to go back to November of 2021, this card was like there was sold transaction for like $2,000. No lie.
Even when you're talking 200 or 250 down to 24, that's a hit, man. That's a big hit on those. We did say stay away. We did say stay away. OC print lines dimples. Yeah, I agree with VA, but it doesn't answer the puzzle as to why it's mostly Lawrence's that aren't getting 10s.
MSRP of the Mosaic hobby box is $300. So $300, you get 150 cards, 2 autographs. So honestly, I think $400. Totally screwed that up. $400 MSRP there. And you get 2 autographs, 5 silver parallels, 15 Mosaic parallels, and 20 inserts, 150 cards. So, I mean, just thinking about it from the Brock Purdy potential alone, I'm like, $400, not bad, man. Not bad, Yeah,
you could sell one of the Purdys just for $100 right there. Base cards.
Maybe $400, man. Maybe $400 by the time the NFC Championship game rolls around and Purdy's still undefeated as Mr. Irrelevant. This could be the Cinderella story of all Cinderella stories right now. But hey,
I'll be keeping my eye out for some Mosaic breaks for sure. Cheers
to Tom Bowler. Check out this koozie I got, man. I got this sweet koozie this year for Christmas. It's made out of artificial turf. I'll hold it close. It's made out of artificial turf, and it's got all the yardage markers on there. Let's see what I got in here. Got this is our final show of the year, man. Got a Powder Day IPA, kind of strong one, double dry hopped, 7.7%. Shout out to you, beer snobs out there, bringing in the new year. This is our final live stream of 2022. Steve, got any big bold predictions for 2023?
Next year or for the playoffs?
Either one, whatever you got.
Oh man!
Give me one for the Super Bowl. Give me a Super Bowl prediction, and then give me a prediction for the hobby for football cards in 2023.
All right, I'll do one for the playoffs. I think that the Bucs advance and win their first playoff game, but they may not go too far. But I'm thinking that they at this point, I think that people are expecting them to be like a one and done. I think that they actually hang around, make it into the playoffs, and win their first game for sure. So maybe that's not too outlandish of a proclamation, but think about some of the teams that they're going to be going up against. So I think that in a way it is kind of an outlandish proclamation, but I'm still going with it. I'm keeping the dream alive, Andy. Mathematically, they could still play the Bengals, and that's what I said last year, and I'm sticking with it.
You're a good co-host, Steve. You're a good co-host.
I'm feeling it, man. I'm feeling it. I think it's still going to happen. The defense has been keeping them in it, so I think that's going to going to still be the case. I think that the Bears intentionally tank, although they may not need to intentionally tank against Detroit, who's going to put up a lot of points this week. And I think that the Bears get the first pick and make a massive trade with that first pick, because they definitely don't need a quarterback, but they have a lot of other needs. And I definitely think that they make a blockbuster trade for that first pick.
A quarterback?
Yeah, I think that they're going to find a team that really wants the first round pick and a quarterback, and makes a big deal for it. Kind of like the one that we did for Fields.
For Fields. Interesting. I'm loving the Super Bowl predictions here in the chat. Derek says Tampa Bay will host Dallas. Jay says Eagles, Bengals. That would be a list. I don't know what I was going to say there. What is it again? I already forgot what kind of Powder Day IPA is already going straight to the head here. Space dust for Ramrod. Tom says Bills versus 49ers Super Bowl. And Derek says round 1 Tampa Bay first. So give me a bold prediction then for Football Card Hobby in 2023, Steve.
Ooh, bold prediction. Let's see here. What's bold? For the hobby, huh? I think that there's a big. All right, we'll say that's maybe not too bold, but I would say that there's a big price jump in Brady cards after joining a new team. And I'm going to say that for both Brady and Aaron Rodgers.
Aaron Rodgers, ooh man, and they could sneak into the playoffs here. They're back on track now, man.
One of them could be very likely to go to Oakland next year.
That is such a juicy narrative, man. Can you imagine that? Aaron Rodgers goes to Oakland and Derek Carr goes
Indy.
I'm guessing. Okay, Derek Carr goes to Indy. Packers promote Jordan Love. That's pretty interesting, man. That's a juicy narrative.
It's a pretty nasty domino effect if you think about it, because it just takes one or two of those guys to move Oakland. Yeah.
Crucial K just literally spit out his beer. He did one of those.
If you think about it from there's other things that correlate with this. If Rodgers went to Oakland or LA, sorry, if he went to Vegas, I'm almost as messed up as you are right now. If he goes to Vegas, he'll be playing with Devontae Adams again. So I think that there's definitely an interest there.
Yeah, that's interesting, man. That's very interesting. I like this prediction from Matt Murray here. The Super Bowl winner will have a quarterback who earns less than 13% of his team's cap. Trey Lance cards will go back up. Interesting. I think you can read between the lines on that one for Mr. Irrelevant.
Yeah, Lance is in a difficult position because Garoppolo has to still go somewhere too.
Jay thinks Denver's going to make the playoffs next year with Russell Wilson under a new head coach. Fired Nathaniel Hackett. Nathaniel Hackett now joins Urban Meyer and a couple other total flame-out NFL head coaches. Derek Carr to the Texans to redeem his brother. What do you think of Toa's galaxy brain idea here?
That'd be interesting. I don't think he'd want to go somewhere with a line that bad, but he may not have a choice at this point.
That may not be as good for my John Mechie play then, because I'm really hoping that the Texans land Bryce Young from Alabama. He gets reunited with his former college teammate, who also is now a cancer survivor, and pretty badass wide receiver in terms of college profile, combine metrics, and just got a great story. So, I got some interesting John Mechie cards coming in the mail. There's a nice play for you guys to think about long-term wise.
What about Lions to win the division next year? Is that even bold anymore? Maybe
with Jared Goff or a different quarterback.
I think with Jared Goff. I mean, he's played well enough to to not be replaced.
Interesting. Jets just like I'm just hope that Mike White can get back on the field. I know I saw a tweet that Mike White is playing for a starting job in 2023. Like that's on the table. It's on the table. I mean, honestly, it's Zach Wilson, total flame out, total bust. His cards have just totally tanked in value. Probably get him for cheaper than Mac Jones at this point. But yeah, Mike White in 2023, Jets starting quarterback possibility. I think the Jets could get better next year as well. I mean, you got more chemistry, more time now. And that quarterback, their defense has just gotten a lot better. They could get even better next year.
It's possible Mike White sticks around. Whether he's the long-term answer or not, he's at least the best option they have right now while they continue to build the rest of the team up.
Chad says Jared Stidham will be a starter in 2023. Is that hopeful optimism, or did you go out and buy some Jared Stidham cards already, Chad?
PSA 10 Prism for $10. That's probably now a nice flip for you.
Let's check it out because Carr has been benched for the final 2 weeks of the season. And not only has he been benched, but he has decided to, because of the benching, take a leave of absence. And so he's not even going to be the backup. If something happens to Stidham, it'll be whoever's the third string, who I don't really know who's the third string quarterback there. But Jared Stidham, drafted by the Patriots, I've seen a lot of hobby love before. Check this out, Steve. Not even like this is what's crazy is they're not even, the Raiders aren't even going to make the playoffs, and you already see the increase in his card value. Now, granted, the cards were incredibly cheap, right? Looking at Jared Stidham base Prism PSA 10 was on an average of $15. So just going up to $20 is a big 36% increase, So you see these 30% increases across the board. If this was a playoff team, maybe we would see even larger increases here. But if they move on from Derek Carr and announce Stidham as the starter, this is a big market team with big weapons, and it's going to generate a lot of hype. It's going to generate a lot of hype, and his Prism PSA 10s and his other PSA 10s that you're looking at here on the screen are going to go up a lot more than they're at now. So, I mean, I can't say this is actually not a terrible play to potentially make. I mean, it can't hurt to have a couple, especially at this type of risk. I mean, the risk on this is just not much at all.
Yeah, $15. I mean, he plays one good week, and you'll already be able to get rid of it by the next week, unless you're looking for the long game. That's not a game I'd be looking to play. But
yeah, Jared Stidham is actually the guy who beat out Malik Willis at Auburn a few years ago. So was Bo Nix. So 4th round draft pick from 2019. Doesn't have a lot of draft capital, but at the same time, he's pretty young, 26. Did get drafted by the Patriots, so he's been very hobby relevant before. Right after the Patriots parted ways with Tom Brady, and there was a chance that Jared Stidham was going to start there, and then Cam Newton came in, and there was that whole debacle, and then they draft Mac Jones and all this. So I'm looking at kind of like his past stats, like nothing really jumps out of the chart, but I want to go back and look at his metrics from 2020. Like if he only played a few games that year and he didn't throw the ball much at all. Not a great completion percentage in it, but matchups are not easy either. And he did look okay in the preseason for the Raiders this past year. So,
yeah, that'll be one to watch. I mean, it won't be he won't have to do much to make the Raiders fans happy. Just not turn the ball over realistically. So I think we've talked about this before the show, Andy. I think it's more of a coaching problem than a Derek Carr problem. I mean, if you just look at his career numbers and then look at this year, he's down 50 yards a game from just last year, and the only thing that changed was the coaching. You don't
So
typically
true,
go
man.
down 50 yards a game passing when you get one of the best receivers of all time on your team.
People are buying. People are buying, brother. People want exposure to this cat right now, as soon as possible at these low prices. I mean, a lot of supply. Like maybe have 4th round draft capital, but he is a quarterback, so they're gonna print him in quite a bit of product from 2019. I would not be surprised one bit if he's got quite a few different cards. Looks like he's got the full suite of cards. So you kind of have your pick here. Rookie ticket auto at $90. Like
3 9s for $10. Look out.
Is that really 3 9s or is that just one? I think it's one.
Oh, is it?
It's a little deceiving. I think it's one. Like it doesn't say a quantity in the listing, and so that's kind of shady.
Yeah, that somebody might buy that thinking it's all 3, and naturally they should because that's what's in the image. But
yeah. Oh, dude, but look at this. Cosmic is a case hit. You got it here for $140 in a PSA 10. It's probably got a pop.
Got 8 watchers. It's gonna get sold.
Yeah, it make offer.
8 watchers in the last 24 hours.
What's your favorite premium product from 2019?
I don't know. I like the optic, honestly.
The optic? Now, okay. In terms of Daniel Jones or Jared Stidham, which one would you rather buy into at same price point?
At the same price point, probably Daniel Jones. I still am a firm believer he's going to remain there as part of their rebuilding project. Versus a guy that could be relegated to backup duties in a week or two.
I'm with you. And look at from the recent news how Stidham, when I compare the total sold volume in the past 30 days between these two guys, like if I were to pop out, let's say to 60, right? He's third there. He's not like you have the Daniel Jones select there. He pop out to let's say 180. You know the Stidham is the 4th card here with an average of $11 when this has an average of $36. But you pop to the 30-day, all of a sudden the Stidham is 2nd, in the past 30 days behind the Daniel Jones with 23 sales in the past 30 days. A lot of these probably happened. Look at this. 28, 28, 28, 28, all today after that, the tweet about Derek Carr and them, pretty much confirming that they're going to part ways with Derek Carr after the season's over. It's kind of hard to go back on what has transpired at this point. So, I mean, yeah, this is a very interesting play. I think it's got a lot of potential upside and a little downside, but so does Daniel Jones. And I think he's definitely proved himself. He's been elite efficiency stat for rushing, and some of his completion metrics have been really good this year. And the coaching situation for the Giants is a lot better. Like there's a big difference between Brian Daboll and Josh McDaniels. I'm not sure that Josh McDaniels really wants it. You know what I'm saying? A situation like clearly Nathaniel Hackett didn't want it. They already got rid of him. That was a big issue. But there is a big polarizing difference between a Nathaniel Hackett or a Josh McDaniels and then a Brian Daboll or Kevin O'Connell, or Doug Peterson. And it's just, studs and duds, man. Some Peterson, O'Connell, and Daboll are studs. I even put Mike McDaniels in that category. He's growing on me a lot too, man. Even though, Teddy Bridgewater's got the keys to the Ferrari this weekend, the Cheetah.
Yeah, I mean, he's just got to keep the ship just straight enough so they can make it to the playoffs. And I'm kind of torn on the Tua thing now. I will say I'm not directly in line with Carter on this one. I think he's kind of flopped back to Tua just being a guy. I don't necessarily agree with that. But I will say that the injury thing is a concern. Now, I'm not saying his hip or his arm or anything like that, but the phantom concussion thing is starting to be a bit of a concern when they're happening this frequently. I mean, there's not really a play that you could look at and be like, oh, that's where he got hurt, but that definitely explains the random erratic late interceptions. Probably if he wasn't feeling it, he probably should have taken himself out of the game. But if he can figure that out, he'll be fine. But I think at this point, you definitely have to worry about the concussions more than anything else. When he's healthy, he's
no
great.
doubt, man.
But if he's concussed every couple of weeks, then he ain't going to last in the league.
That can end his career, right? I mean, crazy. So I got Jordan Love. Shout out to Jay here. He just bought a Jordan Love Select Field Level Copper out of $355 for $20. Great deal on that card. His stock is now back down as the Packers are back in the playoff race. Potential for them to get in here with a nice little 32% chance to make the playoffs. In the hunt, guys. Packers not dead yet. Interesting schedule over the next 2 weeks. Division matchups. They get the Vikings this week. And then I believe, if I'm not mistaken, next week is the Lions and the final week. So very, very interesting here for the Packers. And that's leading some Aaron Rodgers hype and suppressed prices on Jordan Love. But we just talked about all the narratives around why the Packers may figure out a way to trade Aaron Rodgers, or they trade Jordan Love, because he's heading into a contract year, and that was the other narrative. So I don't know. It's interesting storylines, a lot of plays that can be made one way or another on those.
We had Crucial K mentioned earlier about Lamar and possibly going to Indy. I think that if you go back to his draft year, Lamar was heavily linked to the Patriots. Belichick really likes Lamar Jackson. Brady likes Lamar Jackson. But I think that organization is going to be trying to grab him up. You got to think there's a reason that he wasn't in any hurry to re-sign, and maybe that's because he doesn't want to stay there. I think if he goes anywhere, I think the Patriots would be the first place you might think about.
Dude, that is so interesting. So I another guy that could very easily have a massive change in situation for 2023. And based on what we saw last from him was really good. So it's like the recency bias kicks in, which could create, based on news, could create a ton of hype, So I do like the Jordan Love play right now. I think this is it's a nice little time to get in because you have this kind of ultra hyper relevancy around Aaron Rodgers and the Packers making it to the playoffs, and not many people are thinking about Jordan Love, So, but as soon as the season ends and we enter that free agency and draft time period, it's just a massive hype cycle because there's a lot of change. Look at the blockbuster movement last year. I guarantee you some stuff is going to go down this year, and it's going to be the talk of the town. And in that time period, now that the football season is just over, people are going to want to get in on those cards, and that's a big hype cycle, man. That's a big hype cycle leading into the draft where we literally go live for like 48 hours straight and just cover the draft and spend 48 hours on eBay. It's good times, man.
Yeah, there's two really, really crazy. I mean, there's always a good time in the hobby, but the craziest times are right around the draft and playoff time, man. Especially right before the Super Bowl. If you have QBs of guys that are in the Super Bowl, I can tell you from experience. Last year was like my first big year eBaying during the Super Bowl, and I had cards ending at halftime. I had cards ending before the game. I had cards ending after the game, and it is a good time, man. It's definitely a good time.
January is lit for football cards. If you guys are excited about that, you're excited about 2023, make sure you hit that like button on this live stream. Let the YouTube algorithm know, man. Let the Matrix know what's good on the quest.
Ooh, look at that numbered one right there for $8. That's nice.
Which this is stat line. The Chronicles clearly red out of 199, 8.5. Old green label, CSG label there.
Yeah, the clearly rated rookies are pretty solid, man.
What about the Phoenix Fireburst Jordan Love? Phoenix Fireburst. That's on the top of the popularity. I don't know why, but
it's here's the thing is they have a pretty high gem rate and they're not super uncommon.
Oh yeah, check that out. I mean, out of about 1,200 graded, I mean, you've got a 60 to 70% gem rate there.
And they're great looking cards. It's not overly expensive, and they look awesome. So I mean, that's definitely a really good entry level.
About $20 for a PSA 10. You can see it's selling 53 sales in the past month. It is pretty popular. So if we want to come here, we could click on best, which is going to tell us the amount of. It's just gonna filter all the buy it now, so we can see what that card's kind of going for and buy it now. Look at that Christmas transaction for $50. So that's what I look at because that's how I sell. I sell to buy it now, so I don't have to worry about timing the perfect end time, and I can just wait and sit back and let somebody come and buy my card at a much higher price point because they got to have it right then and there. So I'm looking at like 55 right there. If I'm on eBay looking at this card with just 8 minutes left, it's at $12.50. I am totally fine coming in here and placing a bid. Like, I'm not even going to wait till the last second a lot of times, Steve. I know it's optimal to put your bid in the last 2 seconds, but they don't call me auto pick Andy for no reason. Like, you just I can't wait till the last couple seconds to put in a pick or a bid. I got to do it early, man.
Patience.
I will absolutely get distracted. I'll get distracted, and that's just how good of a content creator and streamer I am. I'm always, I'm here for the chat. I'm here for the guys out there, you, Steve, everybody else out there. And I'll end up, sitting here jibber jabbing with you guys and totally miss putting in the bid at the end. So we're going to go ahead and put the bid in here, Steve. What do you think? What do you think I should put the bid in on this?
What was the trend at? About $40?
Well, so I know I can get 50 in a buy it now, and the current auction trend though is only like 20 to 25. But
yeah, maybe
there may be some guys in the chat that want this card now.
25.55.
So if we go okay, so what if we do 26.88? We'll just add $1.30 to that, and we'll put her in.
All right, now we wait.
There you go. Puts you in the lead. Now everybody forget about that card. Forget you ever saw it. Mosaic, as she sees this person shot themselves in the foot, they're not going to sell their card because you gotta, if you want to put it in an auction, man, you got to be willing to take what the market value is. And for a base Mosaic, even SGC 10, you're just not going to get that right now. You're better off putting that in a buy it now, so that way you don't have to restart the listing over. Because once this person's now going to either have to restart the auction or start a new listing. It just adds to more work. Oh, look. There's another PSA 10 ending in 18 minutes.
Get it?
No way. Is this got the same serial number? I swear, this better not have the same serial number. I better not just I didn't even check the seller reviews before I bid on this. That was step number one.
Don't worry, Andy. You got eBay protection.
Zeet over here. He's got a ton of solds. I did check that it's a different serial number. This one's 625-11500. So different serial number, and so you're good. Look, there's two. So if I miss on the first one, we get a fire second bullet.
Ooh, man, that immaculate is nasty.
Yeah, that's juicy.
It's a shame that that Silver Circle's optic is at 100 because that'd be a great card to pick up, but I feel like 100 is going to be too high on that one, at least for right now.
Let's snipe it. Oh, LASIK's got some very good intel here for us on the Phoenix Fireburst. He gem minted a ton of those Firebursts from the 2021 set and sold them. Nice. So got a high gem rate. I think those cards, you can get those full sets, and they come in. Dude, I would love for us to pick up some T. Higgins live anytime.
Get a T. Higgins Fireburst PSA.
Any day of the week.
Get it.
Any time of the year. Sign me up for T. Higgins. What can we get into for T. Higgins? At this point, are we like starting to like this is one area of the hobby where I think there's a massive opportunity, Steve. Because I go and I look at a guy like T. Higgins. Let's leave Jordan Love up here because I want to leave him up here for a reason. I want to pull up T. Higgins graded cards, and you notice that I can't find a single damn T. Higgins. I got to go all the way down here. You got a Mosaic, base Mosaic. Let's see, this base Mosaic's got a pop of 571. Okay, so the past 30 days. Did I show you the
T. Higgins I got for Christmas?
Oh, no. Yeah, shout out to your homeboy. One of your dudes bought this for you, right?
Yeah, one of my friends, one of my coworkers, got me the Immaculate Eye Black.
Oh, it's sick, dude.
How great is that?
That's good man right there.
Very, very, very happy with that. You know I'm a T. Higgins guy, too.
Love it, Jay. Love it. Select field level silver. Yeah, no, solid card, man. Select field level silver. Popular card. There's a big opportunity in the hobby for wide receivers getting them graded. And not like Justin Jefferson. I'm talking specifically guys like T. Higgins, even CeeDee Lamb. Especially guys like Amon-Ra St. Brown, Jalen Waddle, these kind of players from the last couple draft classes that are really, really freaking good or are going to be really good for the next several years. Look at that. Rookie ticket, team helmet variation, so it's a short print variation. But massive difference there between T. Higgins and the Jordan Love. But in terms of just the graded pop report, I mean, it's just crazy how few cards, 78 on this. It's just crazy how few cards are actually graded from a guy like T. Higgins.
Some of the guys in the chat were asking. It was not a Secret Santa. It was just a very generous Christmas gift.
Yeah, man. Very,
and
very
you could probably
generous.
Find like a T. Higgins Mosaic in a slab for a decent price, silver or even like the orange.
Let's see what's going down for T. Higgs. Higgs got a $30 Prism PSA 10, $50 Optic Hollow PSA 10. Love that. $67 Silver Prism PSA 10. Let's see what we can get into tonight right now. Maybe we can snipe something. 2020. T. Higgins.
Yes, we are.
Pump Donkey.
That's what we do around here, man. Our coverage has no limitations.
Love it, man. Crossing the Rubicon in the depths of the
rabbit hole. That Dynagon's not colored. I actually was bidding on some guy was selling like almost a full rainbow of those the other night. I was bidding on. Oh, look at that zebra.
Got the Bengal stripe too. That is sexy. PSA 10. I mean, that's going to be insanely low pop. 182.50. You can see the competition too. I mean, cards are case hit, so we're talking case hit print run of 150 or fewer, approximately 150.
And that's a great action shot.
Oh yeah, that's fantastic, man. And with the new uniforms lining up perfectly, nobody would even think that this is a zebra print. You look at this, and you're like, no, that's the black and white Bengal striped uniforms that they now wear. You know. Well, zebra print. Does say zebra prism on the needs to say black and white Bengal prism on the label. Panini will change that. They'll change that for 2023. Bengals are too good. And see if they can figure out a way to keep Jesse Bates, their star safety. He's going to be a top free agent this upcoming year. I don't think they can afford to keep him because they're going to have to pay. They put him on a contract 3 years. How are they going to pay Joe Burrow, T. Higgins, Jamar Chase after that? You know,
I was talking to a guy today that thinks that the Bengals won't be able to re-sign Higgins after next year.
It's going to be interesting, man, because they've got so much good talent, and obviously Joe Burrow is going to be getting a big contract.
Let's see, anything else in the short term coming up here that we can grab?
There's a canvas for PSA 10.
It's not bad.
Yeah, I'm going to look at the canvas PSA 10 here. I mean, I know it's going to have a fairly low. The optics got a trend of $25. There's the base. Well, that's a stat line card. It's just not going to have very many of these cards at all, man. Not at all.
Well, yeah, he didn't get the same juice that some of the other receivers out of the class got, which I don't fully understand, but there may be a late run on T. Higgins graded cards.
Yeah, I mean they print based on draft capital, but at the same time, I think there also is a print run based on quarterback versus all other skill position players. He was an early second round pick, so it's not like he was
really nice too.
What is it?
The black Spectra. It was like up a little bit, like
black Spectra,
2 mouse wheels up. Yeah. There's one of them.
You love those Spectras,
the
man.
row beneath it on the right. There's 2 different ones there. That's the Hyper, and then I don't remember. Oh, the Wave. That's another good photo.
I don't know. I can't find a canvas on there. It's got to have such a low pop, but it's it's gonna have such a low pop that for $15-20 in PSA 10 condition, I'd be okay with that. I mean, I'm just looking at like the optic and some other like base Donruss and optic stuff on here. I feel like that should be pretty good,
Yeah, is there anything else ending in the next within 10 minutes of that one? Because that one ends in about 15 minutes or so.
Okay, so this is interesting, Steve. Here's that Zebra field level PSA 10, 368.04. 29 bids, downtown sports cards. This
Andy.
Was
you see
182.50. Huh?
According to the app, it said it's got a pop of 2.
8646. Yeah, pop of 2. No, in this API is built to pull directly from the PSA pop report. So this is not. Yeah, this could be a very interesting auction right here to watch, because presumably this has got to be a different serial number from the one we got pulled up here. So now we can let's go pull up this card over at well, I guess we just do it right on eBay and see if we can find the other sold item. I'm just curious to see if this has got the same serial number or different. 350. Well, there's one. That one could be the one that was won in the auction on. There was another buy it now for 159 I just saw.
That one was raw though.
Yeah, it was raw, but I'm thinking it's got a PSA 10 pop of 2. It may have a pretty high gem rate.
It's probably. I mean, not just the T.
There you go.
On the subject of T. Higgins, that's the field level. But someone mentioned Jerry Jeudy earlier. I think that's a guy that bounces back in a big way next year. That's probably a guy you could get really cheap right now.
Oh, okay. That's what it is. No, we're looking at the full field level, not the die cut.
Oh, I got you.
The die cut's going to be a little bit more common, I think, Steve.
You think so?
I think so. Yeah. I think the die cut's going to be a little bit more common. Curious to hear what you guys' thoughts would be on that. Yeah, I wish they didn't do die cut. Honestly, Steve, I wish there was only one between the like you print a zebra print case hit. Why make it in a die cut and in a standard card format? Because I know for a fact, if you look at this year, you look at that year, and you look at 2021 select zebra print, and you look at 2020 select field level zebra print, and those die cuts are more readily available. There's a higher supply than there is of the regular card format.
It hasn't quite gotten as bad as you think. In NBA, for example, select, there's like a giraffe print and some other crazy stuff. So there's an elephant print, giraffe print, so that they've gone really out of control with it. But I do agree, though. I wish that they would kind of limit the number of parallels. I think that it can be too overwhelming, especially if you're like, I like to collect rainbows of certain players. They don't even necessarily have to be like the top guy or whatever. But if you're trying to get the rainbow of a player, you're talking about collecting from just one set. It could be 80 to 100 cards, you know?
Yeah. You're absolutely right, man. Let's see here. Okay. Steve, so who do you got tomorrow night between the Cowboys and the Titans?
Oh, man. I think that the start your Cowboys defenses, boys. I think that the spread continues to grow on that one. I think the Cowboys clean run. I think they just run them over.
I'm with you. I think even with Tony Pollard questionable, he's questionable heading out last week. I think he plays again. I also think the Cowboys start out this game a little bit more aggressive through the air, try and take advantage of some of the Tennessee weaknesses on defense. Very good rushing defense, very bad passing defense. I think CeeDee Lamb could get off to a hot start in this game. Him, Michael Gallup, even Noah Brown or Dalton Schultz, who, by the way, is going to be a free agent this upcoming off season. I think Dallas gets off to a hot start, and then they sit on that lead with Tony Pollard and Ezekiel Elliott and play defense against a rookie, Malik Willis, who's been pretty terrible so far, and Derrick Henry has been ruled out. Is questionable, but apparently with a hip injury, he is going to be ruled out. So you're looking at the rookie Hassan Haskins. They may bring up Julius Chestnut. They may get, what's his name? Dontrell Hilliard. I think they still have. I'm not sure if he's healthy, but some combination of guys there. Maybe go look at Hassan Haskins as a play if you think the Titans could still be in the running.
He's dirt cheap. Very dirt
cheap. Rookie. He's got a big athletic profile. Like, real quick, I'll pull him up just because I do think this is an interesting play to share with you guys. I mean, rookies can generate some hype. This is an island game. A lot of eyeballs. Dallas Cowboys playing. 4th-round draft capital. Derek Richard loves 4th-round draft pick guys. Out of Michigan. 23 years old. 6'2", 228. I don't have combine metrics on him. I do know he can bench press 225 27 times, so that's kind of impressive. Amongst running backs, it's 93rd percentile, best comparable to Carlos Hyde. So obviously it's a 1 week thing, so it's going to be like, there's not a whole lot of plays. Maybe he's better as like a COM C play, see if you can buy something tonight, maybe flip it tomorrow night. Down the road, maybe he earns a bigger role, but not behind Derrick Henry. Just not going to happen, right?
Yeah, I mean, if anything, he's trying to work himself into a little bit more of the timeshare over the next week or two. And, he can hope to sit behind him until he decides to retire or if they trade him or something like that. So not super excited about a Hassan Haskins play, but you never know. I mean, any guy can go off any week, and this week or next week would have to be the weeks he does it.
Derek Richard likes Sean Green's better comp for Haskins. That's a pretty good comp. I like the Cowboys in this game. I think they roll. I would look at potentially maybe buying some variance on Tony Pollard maybe right now because he has not hit the top 10 the last couple of weeks. He's been kind of quiet. Zeke has been getting some scores, and CeeDee Lamb has been popping up big time. So maybe this is the time. Go ahead. Cowboys have clinched. They are in the playoffs. So I think that NFC Championship game and a Super Bowl appearance surely would do a lot for Dak Prescott's prices and everybody around him on the Cowboys. This game, Steve, Falcons now at the bottom of the NFC South. Desmond Ridder playing terribly. And Tyler Algier is an interesting guy who has emerged as the RB1 there, but they're playing the Cardinals at home, who are rolling with Trace McSorley, or maybe Colt McCoy comes back. Maybe Colt McCoy is good to go this week, who's definitely a lot better than McSorley. But who do you got in this game against Cardinals against the Falcons? I feel like this is a dumpster fire.
Compared to his first outing, Ridder played a lot better. And if he keeps that rate of improvement, you'll see potentially his best game as a pro yet this week. Cardinals D isn't anything special outside of J.J. Watt's had a couple good weeks, but I think that their biggest weakness is just going to be their lack of offensive capability. I do agree that it's probably a dumpster fire with like a Falcons winning by a field goal kind of thing.
Check it out. I got the Jordan Love. Yeah, 2152, brother.
Very nice.
Yeah, got the Jordan Love. So reminder, guys, there's another one.
Ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, I'm going to turn around, list that for like 60, 70 bucks and take offers as low as like 50. But I have very high confidence level I'll be able to flip that for at least a double up in the free agency draft type of time period. All right, Steve, what about the Bears and the Lions? The Lions have playoff hopes still alive. They need to win, man. They got to keep winning. Got to stay in contention there. Playing the Bears in Detroit. They've had 1:00 games all season long. I think you already picked the Lions here, right? 52.0 over under. Love that for fantasy.
Yeah, both teams are playing for something. Bears are playing for a first-round draft pick. Lions are playing for a playoff spot. I do think that maybe David Montgomery has a good game. I think outside of that, the Lions win it 13 points.
Who's your favorite card investment from the Lions?
That's a hard one, man, because I'd love to get my hands on some more Amon-Ra, but even going back to last year, the people were all in on his stuff and paying premium for him. If you look at Jameson Williams, if you go look at his pen pals, that's one of my favorite inserts. The pricing is pretty high. I do see a couple deals like that black patch right there, but his auto stuff is pretty expensive already. So I do think that it does have room to grow yet, but it's hard to say.
Panini Black RPA out of 199. He's getting ready to come out with more Mosaic cards, and then he'll have, he'll continue coming out in more and more sets. So it is going to be interesting and difficult to kind of pin him down with that draft capital, the college profile, everything that he's got going for him now. And now the Lions are so good. Haven't really seen like that same response in DJ Chark, and because DJ Chark is the guy that's kind of in the role that Jameson Williams wants, but DJ Chark is actually putting up that production, and DJ Chark is also a baller. He's a badass. So it is interesting to see that Amon-Ra, I guarantee you, is still the most hyped up guy on the team next to Jameson Williams, because Jameson is a rookie and he did go to Alabama and he is a first round draft pick. And this guy obviously has a ton of fans now, Amon-Ra. I'm curious to see if there's anything I just got like a card similar to this for Jordan Love for like $20.
That's what I'm saying.
It's kind of crazy.
I'm always looking for good buys on Amon-Ra, but I'm not saying that I don't like that card, but I just don't like it at the price it's at, and it's still going to keep going higher than that.
Yeah, and we're still an hour out.
Yeah.
It'll be interesting to track this one and see what time's ending, but I'm like, okay. A lot of these other guys are pulling up or find some stuff ending tonight that are at value. I'm not really seeing the value. Like even this, Origins, no serial number, horizontally formatted, take it down a notch for me. And from what I've seen empirically, horizontally formatted cards with plain color patches, stuff like this, non-serial numbers, sticker auto, not going to do nearly as well as the same card vertically formatted. So go ahead and chop that sucker down a notch, and you got this thing at 36 already with 3 bids, and it's probably going to shoot up to like 50, and that's just way overpriced for me, in my opinion.
I think it's worth noting, though, that DJ Chark, even his rookie ticket autos, if you look at his numbers, if he actually didn't have that injury midseason and played the whole year, would have some really nice numbers this year. And his rookie ticket autos are quite cheap. And if you do have a ComC account, there's a lot of really cheap ones on there too. Especially, Andy, not just because he's a guy on a team that might make the playoffs, but he's a guy that's a free agent next year and could make a big splash on a new team possibly.
Oh, I love that, man. He's a stud, dude. He's a stud. So I need to keep my eye out because I made some money on this cat before, and I intend to do it again. Like this right here would be ideal for me. Raw rookie ticket auto ending in 24 hours, right? At 99 cents right now. That's the kind of card you want to target. That's definitely something you want to watch.
Ooh,
another one.
Look at that score gold go up to.
Score gold. Gold zone numbered out of 50. I'll pass on that card personally. I'd rather go with the rookie ticket auto. That's me. But it does have a good serial number, and it's got some interesting assets to it. Can't forget, Trevor gets Calvin Ridley next year. Appreciate that, JP. Yeah, we talked about him last week pretty heavily, and definitely think that's a smart play for both Trevor and Calvin. Steve, can you say I'm on Raw 10 times fast?
I don't know if there's some dirty joke I'm burying myself in here, but I'm not even going to try that one.
I'm on Raw. There you go. Easy
there you go. Flexed those beer muscles. Andy nailed it. Derek says
beer
we're drafting
muscles,
a receiver
baby.
in the first round next year. It's the Lions things to do. I agree. They definitely like to do that. Maybe not, though. I think they draft a defensive player.
All right.
The new Lions team.
Jags at Texans. We're looking at the newly Doug Peterson coach Jacksonville Jaguars here. Second year Trevor Lawrence about to make the playoffs. Get the Texans this week. This is a pretty easy win for them, right? Playing in Houston.
I mean,
Kansas City was forced to overtime against the Texans.
Houston D's looked pretty good. Let's not forget that they put up a fight against KC and Mahomes. I think it's a little too easy to sleep on them. If you notice, the line hasn't moved. It's still only 4.5. I think Texans win either this week or next week and secure the second round pick or the second overall pick, and the Bears sink the last 2 games.
Yeah, I like that. And Michael Bates says Jags win, Texans cover.
Very realistic.
Steve, Matt Murray says he's got an Amon XR to 249 on eBay for $20. Has no interest. Any reason why? It's because it's from XR, unfortunately. I've got a Kadarius Toney Gold out of 10 auto. Not even out of 10. It's out of 5 auto XR for a pretty reasonable price and no interest. It does get interest every now and again, but even had somebody try and buy it, but it's just XR, man. XR doesn't have any real loyalty, doesn't have a big fan base. XR is like one of those real low sets that not a whole lot of people like.
I would, if you want to keep the price point the same, maybe use a promoted ad, promote the card. eBay takes like a couple extra %, but it'll help you get some looks. Anytime somebody looks up Amon Ra, they'll have a chance to see in that card at the bottom. I would definitely recommend starting with that.
Broncos at the Chiefs. Chiefs are tied with the Buffalo Bills for AFC record. This is important for first round bye in the playoffs. They want that, man. Broncos at the Chiefs. Broncos season is done. I mean, it seems like an easy spot for the Chiefs. I don't really see any hope for the Broncos here, but you never know. Weirder things happen when they get those interim head coaches, and it's a new guy in there. Who knows, man? This could be any given Sunday. This could finally be the Broncos' week. Is anybody out there crazy enough to bet on the Broncos covering that spread there at Kansas City, favored by 12.5?
Yeah, I mean, if you're feeling silly, just throw $1 on Denver's money line, and it's $1 if you lose, and you get $5.40 if you win. But I mean, I think the Chiefs ultimately win that game. I mean, the Broncos just got mopped up by Baker Mayfield and the Rams, so
yeah, that's true.
I think that the end of the season trajectory for the Broncos is most likely a downward one.
Oof, loving this game here Sunday. Dolphins at the Patriots. Teddy Bridgewater with the keys to the Ferrari, to the Cheetah. And you got the Patriots here at home. I saw Ramondre Stevenson questionable. I feel like he's been questionable over the past couple weeks. But who do you got in this one?
Honestly, with the Tua injury, I am a bit concerned. I think that the Patriots could very well win this one. The Dolphins do not travel very well, especially on defense. So, if the defense is not showing up, then Patriots could walk away with this one. But yeah, I think the Dolphins are going to sweat it out into the playoffs at this rate. But this is sadly a really important game for that division.
Yeah. And when all else fails, Mac Jones will stick his cleat in your balls. So watch out, Miami Dolphins players. Watch out.
I like this one. I think that the Giants are just going to steamroll.
All right. Colts going to New York. I don't know whether they're going to play Nick Foles. I like this game, and you could even look at maybe picking up some Kayvon Thibodeau, man, right? I mean, he's looked pretty good as of late. He's also a top first-round draft pick going to the Giants and being, mentored by Michael Strahan and all that storyline, big market. The Colts, if they roll out Nick Foles or Matt Ryan, Kayvon Thibodeau could feast on one of them fools.
I think they said Foles is already starting this week, so.
Oh, there you go. Wheels up, Kayvon Thibodeau. Wheels up, and then the Giants run game.
Defense, ladies and gentlemen.
Giants run game. I want to see what the current Kayvon Thibodeau prices are like. I'm curious because I know he's got a pretty.
From my limited searches, not that high. Not that high.
Let's see what we got here. That one's got some. I mean, check out that patch. That's pretty sick. Nasty 2-color patch, auto, true
that's
RPA.
Flawless, though. I think that's hard
yeah,
to use.
Flawless. It's also got a lot of fans from Oregon. I mean, that's a pretty big college program too. You know,
somebody trying to hit the home run with the 10/10 score auto there.
Yeah, 0 bids. Not gonna sell that. Starting at 170, getting way over market value there. Let's go to sold, see what actually is sold for him. We're just looking at auctions, so let's look at all. A lot of college uniform stuff. A lot of elite
metal.
Yeah. There we go. Here's a
certified. What do you think that really went for? Like $30?
Yeah, that's a good point. Out of 149, so I would imagine, closer to the $20 to $30 range, but now we're gonna have to find out, Steve. My curiosity is piqued.
It'll be a good indicator too of what some of his pro uniform stuff's going for.
Come over here, search eBay sales. James says Colts are going for third pick in this year's draft. Easy win for New York. Yeah, I think that's a pretty safe assessment. The Colts need that pick. $40 actually.
Oh.
Impressive, man.
And it looks like there's been a few other sales for around the same price. There's one
$40 a month before.
Yeah, there's one for 30 November 2nd, 45, 41. So roughly about a $36 average.
That's solid, dude. That's
Oh,
solid.
The blue out of 35 is a much better buy. The serial number's lower, plus you're getting the team color matched.
Yeah. Yeah. It's just, those scorecards, like if you were to think of like the thickness of the card, this card here is a lot thinner. It's not nearly as thick as the certified on the card stock side, which, just means that they're more susceptible to corner and edge issues on the score than they are on that certified. So it's just something to consider when if you're ever like if you're buying it just for the scarcity and the eye appeal and stuff, then that's fine. You put it on the wall in a one touch or something. But if you're trying to buy it for investment to get it graded and come back at 10 to boost that value, maybe get 4 or 5x, then it's gonna be a lot harder on the scorecards just because of that. Turn of the century. That's nice, dude. Right here. PSA 9. That's a sweet card. $51. I'm still like a lot of it's auction, so it's not and not a lot of people like intentionally seeking out, impulsively buying the Kayvon Thibodeau cards. He's not really generating a hype at that level. But there are a lot of bids on auctions. Like people are still buying, wanting to collect his cards at a pretty solid level.
Yeah, not a ton of product on these guys yet either.
And we talked about Daniel Jones. We both like Daniel Jones a buy. We talked about Daniel Jones with Jared Stidham earlier in the stream. We talked about the hype for 2022 Mosaic, James. So check that out earlier in the stream. What do you got here with the Saints, Eagles? Is I guess it doesn't matter, dude. Jalen Hurts, Gardner Minshew, either one of them. I mean, the Saints sometimes can put up a fight, but at home here for Philly, I like them to roll here. I think they win this game pretty easily.
Yeah, they haven't announced a starter yet. I would not be surprised if Hurts sits another week. I know they're dangling the idea of him playing just out of necessity to lock up the top spot, but I think it's too big of a gamble. I don't think he plays this week, but I think the Phillies edge him out. The Eagles.
Panthers, Bucks. This is a must-win spot for Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Got to, man. And the Panthers have been playing a lot better as of late, but they're coming to Tampa. I don't know if that really means a whole lot. Not this year. It typically sometimes does. I mean, it does give our defense, I think, a little advantage. This is a division matchup, and I don't think that there's obviously going to be some Panthers fans in the stadium, but I've been to the Panthers-Bucks game at the stadium. It's definitely going to be a lot more Bucks fans than there is Panthers fans. And I don't know. I like our defense to feast on Sam Darnold. Like, I feel like this is about the time for Sam Darnold self-destruct because our run defense is so good, and we know the Panthers they had their way with the Lions last week on the ground. They racked up like 300 rushing yards, and they're not going to do that against the Bucks. Just not going to do that. Linebackers are too good. D-line's too good. They're not going to be able to do that against the Bucks, and then that means they're going to be forced to throw it. And if we could just cut out, like, if we could do freaking Steve, if we could just cut out like a third of the mistakes that we make on offense, we could put up 3 touchdowns a game. It's just mind-blowing the amount of miscues and mistakes we have on offense.
Yeah, I think the couple of key notes is the left tackle for Tampa. I think you guys are down to your 3rd string at this point. Definitely not a good situation there. Andy, I think Sam Darnold is 3 or 4-0 in starts this year.
Yeah, so it's the perfect time for him to self-destruct.
He's usually good for about 5 games in a row before he melts down. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. If there's anyone that's going to stop him right now, it's going to be Tampa. I think that the game script is pretty similar for most of these Tampa Bay games, where it's going to be pretty low scoring and maybe like a 6-point Tampa victory.
Yeah, I mean, I think Steve Wilkes is making a strong case for a head coaching job, whether it's with the Panthers or somewhere else. He's making a really strong case right now with how well he's doing with the Panthers right now as interim head coach since they fired Matt Rule. But yeah, I think it's about time. This is perfect time for old Sam Darnold to self-destruct here. I'm feeling a pick six brewing. I'm feeling a few sacks, maybe a strip sack. The run game's going to be shut down, and Darnold's going to be forced to throw. Maybe he gets a couple passes off to like a Terrace Marshall or DJ Moore or something. But overall, I think they get shut down. I think they just cut down on a couple of mistakes that the Bucs offense makes. Get their run game going. Like the run game is literally dead last in the league. The Rachaad White hype was so small. The window there was so small. It's like, come on, guys, get this run game going. And they started to get it going against the Cardinals last week, but just couldn't complete drives, couldn't execute. The red zone offense is just, I don't know, and just mistakes, too many mistakes. So I think if we can get our offense even just playing like as a normal offense in the NFL, we'll have no problem winning this game on paper. But it's going to be an interesting matchup. Lasagna Lenny is the key. Foreman's got a collection base too. People like Deonta Foreman. He's a tough runner. He is like, he's a guy, man. He's rocked up, dude. He's no fear. He likes to run north and south. I like Foreman a lot. I like Deonta Foreman. Just not this week, man. He's getting shut down. Vita Vea is gonna pancake squash him.
Foreman loves to get you 33 points one week and 4 the next. So Andy, that works out in your favor. He'll get a nice 4 points this week.
All right. So safe. I think I've picked the Bucs for you, but I think you also picked the Bucs in your own opinion.
Commanders
at the Browns. This one's serious too, man. The Commanders aren't dead yet. The Commanders are in the hunt, dude. They got to win, though. They got to win.
Quarterback change, Carson Wentz. He's
Carson
back.
Wentz this week. That's right.
If
Carson Wentz
he
versus
doesn't
Deshaun
simultaneously sustain double high ankle sprains somehow, he'll be probably above serviceable. Browns defense, not the best, but here's the thing. I don't think a lot of people anticipated this being the case, but they were a much better team with Brissett at quarterback.
They were. They really were. Well, I think it's pretty clear, that Deshaun Watson has been super rusty. I mean, he threw the ball 42 times against Cincinnati in week 14 with a 62% completion percentage. That was like the biggest sample size we got to see from. He threw 1 touchdown, 1 interception, and he also ran the ball for 33 yards. But like last week, he only threw the ball 31 times, 50% completion percentage. Not good. Like under 50%, that is not good at all, man. For only 135 passing yards, like, whew. And only 4.4 yards per attempt and an interception. So,
what's interesting too about the Commanders is if you look at the last 4 games for Brian Robinson, take away the game against the Niners, which is probably one of the best run defenses in the league, and his average rushing per game is pretty significant. He had like 110, 80 something, 90 something. So he could be the key element to winning this game.
Deshaun Watson's Ramrod says Deshaun Watson's better than Dangerous. At this point, Ramrod, after how how spot on you were about Russell Wilson before the season, I'm gonna go with you here, man. I'm gonna go with you here, and I would also say that some plays from this game, Steve, some plays that I like. Jahan Dotson. I see that Carson Wentz likes to target Deshaun Watson. Jahan Dotson. He also likes to target Curtis Samuel. So I think there'll be more of a balanced attack between those wide receivers with Terry McLaurin, whereas like Taylor Heineke just lashed on to Terry McLaurin and threw the ball to him like crazy. So I think like Curtis Samuel and Jahan Dotson, who's a rookie, first-round rookie from Penn State, becomes a lot more interesting if the Commanders were to make a playoff run with Carson Wentz. Then I would expect Jahan Dotson maybe to have, one of these crazy monster games like he did at the beginning of the season, which could lead to some interesting price spikes. And then plus you have the longevity aspect of, hey, this guy, rookie contract, he drives a lot of FOMO because he is so young. And maybe the Commanders are in the market. Maybe they're the team. Maybe they're the team that actually does it. They trade up with Chicago this year to get one of those top quarterbacks,
It's not unrealistic. They have 2 good running backs. They have several good receivers. They have a great defense. Seems legit.
Oh, Philly Freak 93, dude. Go buy a lotto ticket, man. He hit a Purdy auto out of Mosaic. Freaking hit the jackpot, dude. Let's go, Philly Freak.
List it to buy it now, right now.
Yeah, for like
Right
a G. List that, maybe more. Maybe more. Maybe that's a card you do as an auction, though, Steve, and time it to end game time, the next game. This weekend, though, may not be it. The Raiders 6-9, but I kind of think this is interesting because the Raiders are rolling out Jarrett Stidham. Not an ideal situation for Jarrett Stidham. So honestly, maybe the time to buy Jarrett Stidham is after he gets destroyed by the 49ers this week, and then people aren't so gung ho about buying into him. And then next week you come in like swoop in, you're like, oh, I'll take one of those, and yeah, go ahead and upsize me there. I'll take that, turn that into a silver and a PSA 10. We'll take one of those too.
I think this is I don't know about that over under. I think that it's pretty low. I could see the Niners just pounding the rock a lot, not anticipating the Raiders to put too much of a fight up. This might be a huge, not that McCaffrey has any really bad weeks, but maybe a really high rushing total week for him this week.
Yeah, they seem to be wanting to preserve McCaffrey a lot for the playoffs. So I wouldn't be surprised if even Tyrion Davis-Price gets a little bit more expanded role like he did last week. And maybe he sees a few more carries just because they're up, by 28 points or something crazy. George Kittle's been balling the freak out with Brock Purdy. I'll say that Brock Purdy is, fit into the system. I would say that there's a realistic chance that the 49ers could go the distance, at least to the championship game with Brock Purdy. That's a realistic probability.
In the playoffs, though, Andy. I'm not saying that necessarily he'll crumple up, but going into the playoffs, those butterflies.
Oh yeah.
If you haven't felt them before. It does change how you play, how you handle stress. So, who knows? That the defense can do so much. I do agree. Purdy looks good, and his team is confident in him. But I think that the tape is not a lot of tape on the guy, and there's no way to know what he does in the playoffs. Everyone talked about how Cousins was on primetime games or whatever, and no one's talking about that anymore. So it's the narrative's going to change at some point.
Yeah, I agree. And when you get into the playoffs, it is it's just a different animal, man. A different atmosphere, different animal, and you either got it or you don't. And a lot of times these games in the playoffs come down to the end of the fourth quarter, and the ball's got to bounce your way. And you've got to execute. You've got only a couple opportunities to execute, and you've got to do it right. So, which if he does, oh my God, buckle up, hold on to that card, Philly. It's worth rolling the dice on this one. If you just pulled it and you got out of a pack, you've got minimal investment in it. Like maybe even express that thing to PSA.
I think if you wait till the playoffs, though, you run the risk of other sets coming out. Just my opinion. The product isn't officially out till like 2 days from now. If you list it now, you might get more now than if you wait.
That's a great point, man. Literally, you're looking at eBay 101 right now, and hype is it's hot. Yeah, I like that. Buy it now. List it high. Maybe like 2,500 or 2,000
ask
or
something
something
ridiculous for it. See if somebody will make
ridiculous
an offer that you like.
Because you could sell it. And then you literally have no worry, no concern, because also the other thing is if they go to the playoffs and win, you have a lot more of like those impulse buyers that will buy, and then maybe you have someone that buys on game time and then doesn't pay, or you have something weird happen like that to where it doesn't work out. And maybe the best thing is to just have it listed now and be ready and try and see what you can get. I don't know. I'm kind of on the fence there. I think I'd go either way with it. Either way, congrats. You're making some serious money on that card. Brian, we will talk about Justin Fields, but let's go through the rest of these games first, and we'll chop back over to Justin Fields. We got a Justin Fields fan right here, my man Steve, the eBay hitman. He's big. He's in Chicago. He'll tell you all about Justin Fields here in a minute, but I want to get his take on the Jets versus the Seahawks. Another playoff implication game. Jets trying to fight and claw and stay in this thing. What's the Mike White? I got to pull up Mike White. What do we got on Mike White? What do you got in this game? This is going to be close.
I think he's still questionable, but if he does make the start, I think they at least have a shot. The running game is basically dead. If the passing game is dead, if he's not in the game, passing game's dead. I think Flacco is the number 2 that they're saying for the rest of the year. I think if Mike White starts, Jets have a legitimate chance of winning. But if not, I think even the Seahawks that seem to be on the descent, if you will, might still pull this one out. So I'm not sure who's starting yet. I don't know if you were able to pull that up or not. Did you find the Mike White info?
Yeah, Mike White is starting this week.
Okay.
And that was the tweet I saw from Athletics' Zach Rosenblatt. He receives that, and he believes that Mike White's chances of starting for the Jets in 2023 may hinge on his performance in week 17 and 18. This is huge.
Yeah, I like Mike White better than those other guys, but I'm actually taking the Seahawks, even though I think that they're pretenders.
Yep, T.Y. Hilton made a little appearance for the Dallas Cowboys. I think he'll make another little tiny appearance tomorrow night, but I did forget to mention T.Y. Hilton's name. He's like 34. He's still kicking it though.
Hey,
so Mike White starts. You going with the Jets?
No, I'm still taking Seattle.
I think Seattle. Okay, Seattle. One other guy, because I think this is very important for the Seattle passing attack, is Tyler Lockett. What's his injury status? I know he's missed a couple weeks here with that broken finger. He didn't practice on Wednesday. I think he's scheduled to come back though.
He might be back this week. And actually, I know that he's not necessarily like super fantasy relevant, but their tight end Will Dillsley. I don't know how to pronounce his name, but he actually got hurt last week too. He's an important part of that offense, whether he's fantasy relevant or not. So that's worth noting as well.
Derek says Milf Wilson needs not be allowed to play another snap in the NFL, XFL at best. Yeah, he can go to the CFL, play where Chris Trevor.
Hey, XFL kicks back off after the Super Bowl this year.
Okay, so Vikings, Packers, got only a couple more here. Vikings, Packers, this is a biggie here. Packers, a lot of players to look at there. Vikings, a lot of players to look at there, led by Justin freaking Jefferson. The J Jettas, the gritty master. Who do you got in this game? Vikings, Packers. Packers have won the last 3 in a row. Vikings are 12-3. They're the team to beat in the NFC North this year. Almost NFC number 1 seed.
Yeah. No, I'm gonna still go with the Vikings. I think that Packers are trending in the right direction, but Vikings not always winning pretty, but winning nonetheless, and that's really all that matters at the end of the day.
Yeah, it's in Green Bay, man. I don't know what the temperature like, but I know it's cold.
It's actually going to – I don't know about Green Bay, but the Midwest is supposed to get a heat wave this weekend. Heat wave in the sense of the mid to upper 40s, Andy. So for the first week of January, that's quite warm. But
get the shorts and sandals out, huh? Was that what Derek was saying that earlier?
Mm-hmm.
Chad's getting his short and sandals out. You Northwesterners are getting the shorts and sandals out.
They've unleashed the Hawkinson, the beast that he is, and I've been saying since they acquired him that they haven't been throwing to him enough. But he's a guy that I'm pretty sure is closest comparable is Travis Kelce. I mean, he's an athletic freak. He's all over the field. He's got tons of speed. He's tough. Not a lot of people are scared to buy into tight ends, which I totally understand. But that guy's he's just a monster. And I've seen a ton of movement on his cards, which made me upset because I was actually bidding on a Prism Gold out of 10 with an auto on it the night he had that big game. So I had to step out of the bid. But I think he's going to be the key to their playoff push.
Very, very good call. He's best comparable to Travis Kelce, according to playerprofiler.com. Gotta like that profile. I'm also a fan of Hockenson. Pretty young guy. Tight ends take a while to develop in the league. And it's going to be, I think, kind of challenging to find some of his cards. But it's not like a lot like this.
That's pretty
solid. Yeah, man. Some interesting stuff.
Ooh, man.
Ooh, baby. Keep your eye on that one there.
Oh, man. That's going to go for a couple hundo right there.
Yeah, I love what they did, though, with that starting price. So I'll definitely be watching it, and that may draw me in if it's close to that. Come down the stretch. That's a sick patch. It's definitely some stuff to look at for
to get my Hawkinsons up. I got a bunch of field level silvers. I got some dragon scales, some other stuff. I actually have that Origins auto, the one that you just had up there.
Hey, if you win, I think it's the short print bowl league. Two of the cards in that league. I got to go back to the video and watch it, but two of the cards for the prize got this TJ Hawkinson blue optic hollow here, serial numbered 59 out of 150, CSG 9, but really sturdy plastic, and then a Kirk Cousins Prism CSG 9. That's also part of the prize pool for whoever wins that fantasy league. But I just think that, Kirk Cousins is not going to throw those interceptions like you saw Tua. I mean, obviously it could happen, but I have a 99% confidence in Kirk Cousins. Right there, Mr. Man with the chains on, leading the Vikes here over the Packers. This is a NFC North battle. I know that the Packers could be sneaky. They could actually win here just because it's kind of like they're peaking at the right time. But I don't know, man. I don't like the Packers. I think they get outscored in this game by the Vikings, and could even force maybe a turnover. Maybe they force a turnover. I like the Vikings in this one too, especially now that you said there's a heat wave coming.
Yeah, I don't think it's going to be some kind of crazy snowstorm or below zero temps or whatever. In that case, I would say it would edge the Packers a little bit. But if it's going to be more neutral, more acceptable Midwest weather, I think that kind of evens the playing field.
Yeah, I think it's going to be close. I think it could be close. I think it could even go under this 48.5 over-under.
Very possible.
So and the Packers do play slower. So I like A.J. Dillon. If you have a guy that I think is definitely undervalued, A.J. Dillon, my play of the week with Carter yesterday, sticking by him. I don't know if there's any A.J. Dillon. Obviously made money on him multiple times in the past. I love his running style, his big bruising running style. Plus he's a great receiver. So Aaron Jones has been questionable. It's 7 out of the past 8 weeks. He could be highly limited or not play at all. And I love me some A.J. Dillon. Still young, heading into a contract year next year, rookie deal. So, it's time for him. It's time for him to go. This is a great time to be holding some A.J. Dillon, frozen tundra. I mean, this is the guy right here.
That's a nice select right there.
Keep my eye on that. That ends tomorrow evening at 7:45. Not anything really good ending tonight. So, Packard, I'm curious to see what. Let's see what Aaron Rod. I have not. He's been one guy, Hall of Famer, that stock tanked throughout the season this year because of how bad the Packers have looked. But as you can see, he's bounced back in the past few weeks with almost a positive change on his most popular card, which is the 2005 tops with a population of almost 3,000 on the 10, over 3,000 on the 9, which you can see that card still does really well. In $84 auction, 110 buy it now yesterday morning. Someone had to have it. 84 in auction though. So there's a card you could get, I would say target for around 80, 84. You could easily flip that. You can flip that right away. The PSA 10, buy it now, is around 300, 315. The
One
auctions
thing
are
to
right
look
there
out
too.
for, Andy, on that card in particular is they did make a reprint. That's one of the reasons that buying a graded version of this card might be advisable, just because it would be noted which set it came from. And obviously, if you're spending $100 or $200, you're not wanting the reprint; you're wanting the original.
What do you? This one has a lot. It's like half of the pop report, but it's. I don't know. I mean, I know a lot of people aren't crazy that his rookie card is of him in these practice shorts and this practice jersey. It does have the Green Bay helmet and the number. Like this one's tops turkey red. I guess you could compare this to like, I don't know, Mosaic or something of today. I don't know. It's kind of popular. It's up here.
Yeah,
But
and
what do you like
there's actually
better?
color variations of that too.
What do you like better from an investment perspective here on Rodgers? Do you just go with the tops, or do you go look at the upper deck, or what do you think?
I think the tops has a cleaner look, honestly.
The score, there's the score, just a different angle, like same exact photo shoot, like same event. There was like the score guy was standing on this side of the field, and the the upper deck and the tops guy, like they were the same guy.
I think of the ones we've looked at so far, the tops or the turkey red are really nice. Some of these other ones that are a little further down, you just don't see them as nearly as often.
Like the rookie ticket auto that sold for $13,600 on December 11th.
Yeah, like that one. Yeah, like that one. You definitely don't see that one too often. But more along the lines of even the base cards, you don't run into the upper deck ones nearly as often.
Look at that. Look at that between August and November on the 9 rookie ticket auto. A lot of 8s. 23 8s compared to 56 9s and 37 10s. Hard to get 10s on that, man. But I want to see quickly 2005 Aaron Rodgers. If there's anything. $74. So that was a 9 for 74. That was a deal, man.
Oh man. Look at that baby face auto.
Yeah. You barely recognize the guy. Now he's got like this Peaky Blinders haircut. He's got he's rocking like the little soul patch. Total
cool,
rookie Aaron Rodgers.
425. What's that guy thinking?
Nothing tonight. There's the full set. I definitely would be a little sketchy on that.
That rookies and stars one's pretty cool. Not for 200, but it's numbered. That's kind of cool.
Now, does it indicate anywhere that he's a rookie, other than it just being rookies and stars? Longevity. Oh, there you go. Got a little sideways rookie text there. That's interesting. That's a baby face photo. Where's the serial number at on this bad boy? They typically put it some goofy spot.
Oh, was it not on the front? So one of those that they brilliantly make the serial. Oh, there it is on the right.
There it is. 203 out of 599.
And it might seem like a lot, but they weren't really doing a lot of parallels back then. So there's probably less of that card than there are of, some of the ones we have out now.
Kirk Cousins. Not even going to pop up here. Oh, look at that. Kirk Cousins popped. You don't see much of a change here on either one of his cards. man, this guy, I'm telling you what, man, I still think that his cards are going to go up big time if they make a deep playoff run here. They've gone up, but I think they've got a lot more room, especially when you only have a pop of 34 on your first year Prism PSA 10. Like, I'm pretty sure the Russell Wilson is still more than that after how miserable he's played this year. Yeah, I mean, like, his PSA 10 is still going for $200. It's actually had a slight uptick since they fired Nathaniel Hackett.
A lot of people still holding the bag on that one.
Yeah, I mean, I bought a Russell Wilson base prism. I should have listened to Ramrod, but I didn't. I bought a Russell Wilson base prism raw before the season started for 100. I'm absolutely holding the bag on that thing. Hey, you can't get them all right. Can't get them all right. I definitely feel bad about recommending that buy, but there's always next year, man. New coach. So
that's the thing, Andy, is the new coach could come in, they could turn everything around, and then you look like a genius. It's hard to say. I mean, it's not every guy comes out and does it in their first year with a new team or their first year in the league or whatever.
Yeah, when was the last PSA 10 Wilson sale? September? No, I think there was one recently because this card was down
December 11th.
Yeah, December 11th. Okay. And a buy it now of all things. Like, who is this guy buying it now? Probably.
They're buying the dip. They're buying.
No, yeah, massive dip. I mean, crazy massive dip. Yeah, look at that. And this card used to be over 1,000. I know some guys who bought it for over 1,000, or right at 1,000, thinking they were making a good buy. For the record, when it was over 1,000, I told that guy not to do it too, but he did it. And that's
just an example of buying at the wrong time,
Yeah.
He was just traded. All the hype was there.
It was Russell Wilson buying his own stuff.
He may have bought all of his own cards on eBay with that contract he got.
That's funny, dude. Rams, Chargers, man. Baker Mayfield, the battle of the LA teams here. We're going to the 425 game in LA against LA versus LA. Who has more home fans of this game, like Rams or Chargers?
Now, do the Chargers have anything to play for? Like, are they locked into their spot?
They're locked in, baby. I think there's always seeding implications. Like, they could potentially, gain some type of home field advantage throughout multiple rounds, but I doubt it because of how good, like, the Bills, the Chiefs. So I don't necessarily. Yeah, I mean, they're clinched, they're in, but at the same time, like, the record is only one game behind the Ravens, right? So I still think there's stuff to win for. Only 2 games behind the Bengals.
Yeah, so they're basically stuck there, it looks like.
I mean, they're kind of stuck here. They're in. That's what's important. They've clinched. But at the same time, I do. Yeah,
that's true.
Yeah, they can pass the Ravens the wild card seeding to face the AFC South division winner instead of the other teams, which would be great, right? I mean, I think that would be an ideal matchup. You want to play the Jags. I mean, all these teams want to play the Jags probably, but Jags could be peaking at the right time. But I mean, if it is the Titans, you're even more excited. I think the Jags are better than the Titans right now, which is why I'm excited to see him play next week in Week 18. Let's go. All right, so final matchup.
I think as long as the Chargers don't, try to rest anybody, I think that's a cakewalk. Chargers on that one.
Steelers, Ravens, Sunday night.
Well,
AFC North.
I hate to say it, I'm not a Kenny Pickett fan. I'm not impressed. I don't think he's done very much, but they've played well enough, and the Ravens have played bad enough that I think the Steelers win this one.
What's the status on Lamar Jackson? Let's see.
Pretty sure he's out this week. No answer on next week yet. It sounds like they're going to try to hold him out for the playoffs.
Interesting. Okay. Well, I think it's going to be another close game. Look at that disgusting 35-point over-under. Yeah. I think it's going to be a close game. It's in Baltimore. I think the Ravens figure out a way to win this one, too. I'm with you there. Ooh, we got a doozy on Monday night, man. Monday night, Bills-Bengals. Let's go.
Bengals,
easy reaction for you. Man, this is going to be so close. That's going to be tough to pick. 1 point. Look at that spread. 1 point.
No, Buffalo obviously is a strong team. Josh Allen hasn't looked super elite. I mean, he looked human against the Bears, who's not that great on defense. Granted, there was a little bit of weather, maybe a little bit of weather, but still, he hasn't been at his best the second half of the season, seemingly. So I think the Burrow and the Bengals are trending in the right direction at the right time, like they did last year. So I think that they keep that streak going.
Yeah, epic Monday Night Football. Man, so many relevant players in that game. I wonder what Stefan Diggs values have done lately, because man, his cards were going up like crazy at the beginning of the season. But I feel like Josh Allen, Diggs has cooled off. Been very balanced. You've had these big games from Singletary and James Cook. Yeah, look at that. I mean, he's maintained like this 125, 150 even in auction 2 days prior that went for a lot higher. Holy crap, man. Somebody got him a deal December 12th at 901.
55. What? That's
weird. But that's definitely the Prism. I see the 10 there in the picture, so I wonder. Yeah, that one's
Here's a random hypothetical question, Andy. I need your opinion as a football fan, as a hobby fan. What if, right? Since we're looking at the Stefan Diggs card, we'll use this card as the example. What if at some point they were to re-release that card, or at least that image of that card, but superimpose his new uniform on it? Would that be sacrilege in sports cards, or would you welcome that?
Interesting. I think that would be sacrilege. I wouldn't go as far as to call it sacrilege, but I do think that I wouldn't be a fan of it. I don't know why, but I guess maybe it's kind of like dishonest in a way. Like it's not the
not
team who's
necessarily
really
calling
on.
it a rookie card, but you know
I
what I
get
mean?
it if I was a Bills super fan, maybe, but from an investment standpoint, like I don't know. I like to pay homage to their team that they were actually drafted to, and it kind of tells a story, you know.
How about this? I'll do you one better. Rookie card natural image on one side, and then a new image on the rear side, and then a then and now type theme.
But then it would be considered a reprint, right? Or some type of ACO card. Or you're thinking that Panini prints this. Panini makes this card.
Yeah, I'm thinking along the lines of like I've seen it in other sets where they do like a then and now, not necessarily with the player image, but just out of curiosity, because I know that in the NBA they've done it a lot, and I'm not a huge fan of it, but Jordan rookie, for example, LeBron rookie, for example, they've made quite a few reprints. Now I don't like that because it's literally the exact same card, but with like the modern date on it essentially. But if they did like a two-sided card, I think it'd be kind of interesting.
That sounds interesting. I'd like to see an artist proof. I'd like to see someone make one of those ACO cards. Actually, it's interesting you bring that up. We looked that up because I was like, what? I didn't know what ACO meant. I've seen it quite a bit, but it just means like custom card. So basically, but the actual acronym stands for Art Cards Editions and Original. ACOs stand for Art Cards Editions and Originals. If you're ever curious, they're small original works of art that are released as either one-off pieces or editions. So when someone uses that acronym, that's what that means. Because we saw a KJ Jefferson card earlier. That was, this one actually, this ACO is like, well, this is the only thing out for him. It's got SEC logo and stuff on it, but it's just like a dude who made this in his basement, basically, with Photoshop and, a nice printer.
It's kind of cool. I don't know that I'd pay $20 for it, but
yeah, wouldn't pay $20 for it.
Maybe 5, 7, something like that.
I do think a lot of fantasy playoffs are going to be decided by this game Monday night. Bills Bengals. Keep your radars open, man, for auctions ending this week.
Who are you taking, Andy? I didn't get what's your feedback on the Monday night game?
Oh man, it's gonna be close, dude. So close. Golly, dude. They're playing in Cincinnati though, aren't they?
Yeah.
Man, Burrow's playing so good right now. If the offensive line holds up, I think the Bengals could potentially outscore them here. But at the same time, I don't know. This is a preview, man. And I think we're getting a preview here of the playoffs. And I don't know, man. Man, it's going to be so.
Two superpowers colliding, man.
I think the Bengals are not the Bengals. The Bills are just so damn hungry this year to win. And I don't know if this game necessarily, if they have as much of that hunger, like when it comes to the playoffs, right? I mean, they've been through a lot this year already, and they've been cruising a little bit. So I'm looking at that as well, like kind of thinking about that angle of it, where I think the Bengals have more to play for at this point, right? Because look at that. They're only one game behind the Bills. So I don't know. They do have to win, man. They want to keep that first seed, that top seed. So, man, this is going to be a shootout.
They've been on quite a run since a few weeks ago when you were asking me which teams I liked. And they've been almost running the table since then. I just got that feeling, man. I think they want it bad enough, and I think that they're going to be potentially the team to beat going into the playoffs, especially if they win this one.
I want to pick the Bills. I want to say the Bills. That's my initial reaction to the winner. But at the same time, I would not be surprised at all if Cincinnati figures out a way to win this game. I would not be surprised. I'm not surprised by anything that Joe Burrow does now. He's just so clutch, man. He's so clutch, and he's got such good weapons. The defense isn't bad. Like, I look at the Bills' defense and the Bengals' defense. I think they're pretty similar in talent level. And I mean, it's gonna be close, dude. Like the Bengals run defense is 8th in yards allowed per carry, so they're not. It's gonna be harder for them, I should say, to do a lot of that the James Cook, Devin Singletary type of runs. Whereas their Bengals passing defense is 25th in yards allowed per pass, but 11th overall. I don't know, man. It's gonna be close.
It's hard to call, but I gotta go with my gut and go with my team the same way you would. Not my official team, which is always going to be the Bears, but Bengals, man. Burrow. As long as Burrow's there, that'll be my squad.
Draft a mitten too. Derek wants us to draft a mitten too on Underdog Fantasy. How quick are they? We're pushing 2 hours, 18 minutes, but I mean, what's another, 15, 20 minutes? I do want to get some Underdog Fantasy stuff. I mean, it's just like so much fun. Let's see what they've got in the lobby. Do we need a mitten too? A kitten too? They got a Sunday night knockout. Oh, there it is. The mitten too. Ooh, playoff best ball. 50K to first. 250,000 prizes. I like that. So what's the? Oh, it's only 4 rounds. Let's go. Draft size 6. Oh, draft rounds 10. Let's do it. 4 rounds. Yeah, okay. Playoff best ball. You guys gonna love this, right? We're back on Underdog Fantasy. Promo code Quest gets you that 100% instant deposit bonus. Get in this tournament with us. You can actually draft with us right now. We're trying to pick the players that are going to perform the best throughout the duration of the playoffs. So you got to pick players that are actually going to make the playoffs. That's important. Talking about all those guys that we just went through that have clinched and this and that. Steve, are you going to get in this?
Let me see here. I might as well.
Because we can get in the same draft. All you guys get in the same draft with us. Let's do it. Let's do it. I'm gonna wait in the countdown because there's a little delay. So I'll do like a 5 Mississippi countdown.
And then after 1, say click, and then we'll click.
Okay. Okay. You ready?
All right.
All right. 5, 4, 3. Get your mittens ready and click. There's 2 clicks there. So I hope that you're able to get in there. You guys were able to get in. Filled. All right, here we go. Let's see. I don't know if I got in with any of you guys. Got in with Caladesi. All right, let's get our feet wet with this one. We'll probably run another one because I don't see Derek in here either. I don't see no DB. I see no DB. I see Fanta. I see Scaldesi, Cactus. These are going to go super quick, though.
Now, are these teams that are only oh, no, so there are teams that aren't officially in the playoffs yet, too.
What kind of positions do we need to fill? It's probably, let's see. Half point PPR, 1 QB, 1 running back, 2 flex, or 2 wide receiver tight end, 1 flex, 5 bench. Automatically get the most points for your roster. Just drafting a big team, they'll automatically optimize it for you on a weekly basis, give you the most points. 6 minutes. You missed out. All right, we'll run another one. Let's go quick. This will get our feet wet on it. Okay, Josh Allen going number 1 overall. Makes sense. Patrick Mahomes, number 2. Makes sense. Jalen Hurts. Man, everybody's going quarterback. I'm not going to get the maybe Christian McCaffrey here. Who's a wide receiver tight end? Or Jamar Chase. Or Travis Kelce. Or Justin Jefferson. Screw it. I'm going Justin Jefferson.
Can't go wrong. Can't go wrong with that.
That's the other thing to consider, right? You've got differentiation. So I kind of reach a little bit there based on their ADP, if this is even like the ADP is super accurate. But, you got to differentiate yourself from the other, because there's going to be a lot of leagues that are these 6-man leagues here.
Right, with similar build-outs.
Yeah. All right, so I think I'm going to go, let's see, man, I can't pass up Stefan Diggs here. AJ Brown or CeeDee Lamb is really peaking right now. Man, I'm liking all these picks right now. Oh, so is T. Higgins. Like, dude, this is like some tough picks right here. I think I definitely got to go wide receiver. I kind of want to go, I think I'm going to go CeeDee Lamb, actually, believe it or not. I can draft up to 3 wide receivers or more, right? Yeah, because I got my 2 wide receiver tight in, but then there's also a flex.
So how many total rounds are there?
10.
10. Okay. Is it is single QB?
Yeah, it's also a flex, single QB. My plan is to get Kirk Cousins if I can get him. There's the little
Daddy D.
All right, so Daddy D, Mahomes, Diggs.
This is sweet. There's so many more dynamics to this too, because so you're obviously wanting to take a guy that's going to go the distance.
One QB, but make sure he's not on a bye. Only one team. Derek is saying only one team advances each round. Interesting. So you basically have to win your little 6-person league to advance to the next round. And you got to do it again and again and again. 4 rounds for each round of the playoffs. So you definitely you have to pick a team that's in the championship game. You have to. So I think it makes sense that you really have got to stack. You've got to stack your guys. Yeah, man. I don't know what I'm. Well, so I went with Justin Jefferson. I'm either going here with the Cowboys or the. Yeah. I don't know if that makes sense. What I just did. Maybe just get all the points on the team. Yeah, it makes sense to me because I'm going to get all the points possible for a specific offense. So if I get CeeDee Lamb and Tony Pollard and Dak Prescott, then I could really max out on points from the Dallas Cowboys. And if they make it to the championship game, then I'm in a really, really good spot with those guys. I think you kind of have to sell out here. Like, look at this guy, Cactus. He's got a shield, so he's experienced. He does a lot of these. He went Jalen Hurts, A.J. Brown, Devonta Smith. I think I got to go. I don't see these guys picking another quarterback just yet. Joe Mixon. I could go somebody. I think this makes sense. If I go somebody, Isaiah Pacheco. I think if I go Joe Mixon here, that makes sense because it could be somebody on the opposite conference. Now that would kind of be the way you want to do it, right? You want to pick whoever makes it to the NFC Championship and whoever makes the AFC. So you kind of want to narrow your pool down and stack between 4 teams. 2 NFC, 2 AFC to potentially win this thing, take home the $50K. (4-3-3) or 4-2-2-2 as a baseline construction. You're talking about 4 wide receivers, 2 running back, 2 quarterback, 2 flex.
What's he saying? 4 running backs?
He's just talking about baseline constructions for rosters.
Four, 3-3. Yeah, this is interesting.
This Cactus dude is sold the F out on
Philly.
Yeah.
Man. Yeah, I mean he's doing it's an all or nothing right now. That's kind of what you have to do, I suppose, at this point.
Yeah. I got Dak. There's only a few rounds left. I see how you could do a ton of these, get a ton of different variations. So at this point, I think I got my... Yeah, I probably... Because, see, there's a possibility that the Vikings could have a first round bye. With the way they do. And then in the second round, the top seed's going to play the bottom seed. That advances from the wild card. Brock Purdy. Does it make sense here to go with Kirk Cousins as well? Eagles have the tiebreaker over the Vikings. It would kind of like lock up my quarterback situation. I don't know if that's optimal at all, but Eric, yes.
So if you're drafting a team that has a first round bye, are you drafting a second quarterback?
I think so. I think you have to. I think you have to. Like this cat here, Cactus, he's got the experience shield. I'm trying to see what he's doing. He's definitely going Buffalo skill position players. But I'm interested to see what he's going to do here late about his second quarterback because he went Jalen Hurts in the first round. I think you got to go with a Trevor Lawrence here or maybe a Tom Brady or I don't know. I'm interested to see what he does. Or maybe somebody on the AFC side of things like Justin Herbert. Yeah, I was just thinking Justin Herbert. Like, wow, that was a good pick, actually, honestly. Herbert is more than likely going to be playing every round.
Yeah.
He really, I mean, hasn't put up a ton of fantasy points. Been very few games where he's put up over 20 fantasy points. But still, playoffs are a different animal. And maybe forced to open up more, maybe forced to throw more. Oh, that was my pick. Auto pick Andy. I'm just watching myself like what's this guy doing over here? Like, why is he taking so long? Does he know what he wants? I mean, why is this guy highlighted? Is this FF Card Quest guy? What's he doing? That purple golden retriever.
Showing off.
He's
sandbagging a little bit.
What's he doing, man? He got Dalton Schultz, so he's tripled down on the Dallas Cowboys. They better make it all the way. Auto pick Andy to the rescue.
Sponsored by Random Beer.
Sponsored by Random Beer and auto drafters across the nation. I should start some kind of auto pick anonymous club. I should start an auto pick anonymous Discord channel where you can come in. We'll have weekly roundtable live streams. You can introduce yourself and discuss times that you accidentally auto picked and you regret it.
And then people can share their tales of auto picks that worked out in their favor as well.
Yeah. My be like who did man I got a few seconds here. Okay. The Bengals. Okay. Dawson Knox. No auto pick. I got a tight end.
Saquon. No Kadarius Toney, Andy.
Oh, man, I think that's a great late round draft pick. I mean, I think that's a great sleeper in this format, which leads me to think, hey, dude, that's a great sleeper in the card world right now, man. Perfect parlay right there. Youth, explosive, athletic talent, great team, potential deep playoff run. We've already seen him have one solid game. The guy's just got to get healthy, man. The guy's got to stay on the freaking field, you know? And I hope he's been looking at the playbook and not like picking his nose or whatever he's doing over there.
Man, this is interesting.
It's almost a final round. Oh, I'm back on the clock. This is me. I guess, yeah. So, I mean, all positions are covered. Yeah, I see what I went 2-2-4. I'm gonna go. I see Tony there. McKenzie. It's Khalil Shakir has kind of been grabbing his role. I'm gonna go Tony. Actually, I'm gonna go Tony. I like your pick there. I'm gonna go Tony. I'm gonna go ahead and snag him because I don't think he's gonna be there on the way back. Now I've got 5 receivers, but I guess, or no, I got 4 receivers and a tight end. But you know, if one of these this team, like say the Dallas Cowboys get knocked out, I am just effed, right? But I may not be dead because I've got these extra receivers. Probably need to draft another running back outside of just Mixon and Pollard. Probably need to get another running back here because that's one spot where you have to fill. So I'm banking on, like, if one of your quarterbacks is knocked out, like, so for example, Fanta is banking on the Ravens and the 49ers. You're banking on the Bengals. And let's see what you do here. Tua. Whoa. He goes Tua in the final round. Wow.
Well, did you see my receivers?
Yeah, Waddle, Tyreek Hill. Oh, okay.
And I got the Jamar Chase, Boyd, Burrow stack.
Okay. Man, give the Homer pick. Homer picks. I really think that the Jags are going to make it in over the Titans. So I'm going with the Homer pick here. Going with Rachaad White. When the run game for the Bucs finally comes alive, it's in the playoffs. Let's go.
When
you have no NFC guys?
Time.
You have no NFC. Holy crap. Well, he's got Dalvin Cook. He's got one NFC player. You only have one NFC player, Steve.
Whoops.
So you're really pigeonholed. I mean, you got to be right. You got to be right as right.
There got to be
right
Bengals or Dolphins.
This is such an interesting draft format. So much fun, honestly.
Yeah, I was trying to go Vikings early, and then I wasn't even trying to get Jefferson because you had him, but I was trying to get like Thielen and a few other guys. Somebody grabbed Hawkinson early.
Speaking of Kadarius Toney. Kadarius Toney, 2021. What do we got? Kadarius? Anything good for me out here? Go for the guys. Encased. We going there?
Red Hyper for $2 or $1. It's not bad.
That was a cool looking Firestorm. Whoa, that's a 1 of 1.
Interesting.
Huh. Which one? You're talking about the encased?
No. Go back down the red optic. It's not anything high end, but for $1, and it's a red.
Yeah.
He's on the Chiefs now. It's an interesting play.
Yeah, that's interesting. Like entry level type play. Totally. I'm with you there because I feel like you could turn around and sell that for 10 to 20 kind of thing, you know, and buy it now. Huh. We're getting to the point where trophy collection from Illusions out of 50. I mean, it's a cool looking card. I just don't see this card becoming that popular. Like, I think there's just so much variety for guys out of 2021, especially guys that wasn't Kadarius Toney's a first round draft pick too. Like, everybody was screaming like, "Oh no, Giants are at it again." Way over drafting a guy who hardly did anything in college. Yeah, that's right. They did draft him in the first round. Knuckleheads. That was the old Giants regime.
It's interesting though how, though rarely healthy, when healthy, he does contribute to some magnitude.
Yeah, he's an electric athlete. I'll give you that. I definitely give you that. And Sean, he actually he paid up on his bet. I think we bet $20. He sent me $20.
Nice.
The other day for the Kadarius Toney bet. And
probably a guy you could get some like really cheap XRCs for.
Yeah, man. Just gotta wade through like in a sea of stuff. So much stuff out for 2021. Just gotta wade through it, man. You really just gotta take the time, wade through it. Let's see what we got from my boy Rashad White. He's got this twitch, man. I've got hope for him, but at the same time, like, man, I don't know if it's like his vision, like his ability to read what the defense is giving him instead of just running into the backs of the offensive linemen. I mean, he's had some decent plays, but I wish he had a lot more. And I know the line's not giving him a whole lot, but there's been plays where I'm just like, man, don't look too like
9 of 15 right there.
Wow. Thursday 111. I definitely keep my eye on that. It's got like some Christmas colors to it. That's interesting. Still not a lot of cards. Okay. I would actually not mind one of these either. As a Bucks fan, I think that speaks to collectors out there, you know? Like, think about
the player, the game, or the season means something to you. I think when you're doing stuff with the channel every week, stuff like that has more of a significance.
He hits 100 yards for the first time in his career. This was his breakout game, man. This was against the Seahawks over in Germany. And it's got that 107 print run. That was the amount of rushing yards he had, right?
That's cool.
So that's cool. Like, I'll pay $15.99 for that.
Yeah, you should see if there's any on ComC too. Those kind of cards end up on ComC a lot.
Really?
Yeah.
Interesting. There's a couple interesting plays right there. All right, let's do one more of these before we sign off. Let's get Derek in here. Show us how it's done. I got to do one more. I'm gonna try and refine my strategy here now that I've got a better. Hey, dude, that's a great idea. I gotta make a sound effect. Late stick Kadarius Toney. That's a lot of N's and O's there in all caps. Yo, Rage. Good evening. Late night Rage. Got the Night Owls in the house. Eric Morris, Playoff Lenny. Let's go. Yeah, I hope he transforms. I hope. I appreciate that, Derek. Yeah, let's give me a soundbite. Dude, what should the soundbite say? Yeah, that's true. No, I'm not losing faith, man. All right. Steve, you good?
Yeah.
Is it okay?
Let me know.
Ready?
Let's go.
All right. Derek, Rage, Late Stick, Eric, Steve, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Enter. Yes. Oh, okay, Derek. DM me in the Discord. Hit me with the soundbite. Let's do this.
Nice.
I actually got two spots that you guys can get in this draft with us.
I think I'm in the same one
spots.
for sure.
Yeah,
So-
we actually got 2 spots filled up. Awesome. We're trying to pick the best, the players that are perform the best throughout the duration of the playoffs. Chance to win 50 grand at the end of the championship games. That's pretty cool. Okay, so Game Hova at 1.1, Scratch My CD at 1.2. There's our boy Derek and Richard at 1.3, Scaldes at 1.4, C Carter 8802 at the 5, and me at the turn. Means I got to make picks back to back. I got the turn spot this time.
I like the turn spot.
We got Matt Steets in the house. West Coast after the Holiday Bowl. Yeah, how'd that bowl game finish up? Let's see what we got here. All right, trying to pick a players that perform the best through duration of the playoffs. UnderdogFantasy.com, promo code Quest, get 100% instant deposit bonus. We want to narrow our focus down to the 4 teams we think are going to make the championship game. Favorites will go first, like Mahomes 1.1, Josh Allen. Let's see what Derek does the 1.3. Does he deviate from quarterback? Does he go with the running back here? Wide receiver. Goes with Christian McCaffrey. I like that pick. I mean, massive ceiling. They definitely are wanting to win that Super Bowl ring. They're going to open his role back up. They're not going to be sitting on leads and stuff like that. I mean, sure, if they get up to a lead, they are going to pull McCaffrey and they'll put in a closer like Tyrion Davis-Price or something, you know. All right. Scaldesi goes Hurts this time. Quarterback talent is depleting quickly, so once again, I'm going to pivot because if I'm going for quarterback, I want one of these guys that have a high probability of making that championship game, plus have dual threat capability. So I'm thinking can put up, 30 to 50 points with their rushing capability. All right, Travis Kelce goes. This puts me on the clock. I think I'm going to double bink wide receivers here. I should go with the 2 LSU boys. Yeah, I mean, I could double down because I like this. I kind of like this. I'm going to go Jamar Chase. I'm going to go Justin Jefferson. I'm going the LSU boys.
Nice.
We're going to double bink the LSU boys in Carter.
It's a good spot to be in.
Stephanie Plunkett says, great game. Burrow and Chase Stack. I love that, Victor. Fun chat tonight. Happy New Year. I'm out. Swamp Donkey off grid. Have a good night, brother. Happy New Year. I will see you on the other side, and we shall catch you on the trail, my man. Appreciate you. All your support in 2022. Looking forward to an even better 2023 on the quest. Let's see if we do this. There we go. We can fit that screen on screen and screen. Got a little PIP action, picture in picture.
All right, let's see here.
Getting some kind words here in the chat. Appreciate that. Going on a limb with a Bridgewater and Tyreek stack. Wow. That is brave, brave, brave. Yeah. All right, Derek sniped Burrow from me, so Dak is gone. All right, with Justin Jefferson, I think we're gonna go with the Kirk Cousins stack now. We're gonna go Dalvin Cook, and instead of getting Joe Mixon here, I'm gonna go Jerick McKinnon. He's really developed into an interesting role for, the actual other pick here. The Chargers do get Joey Bosa back here, and Eckler's role is just so elite. I'm going to go Eckler there. I'm actually going to pivot. Okay. I've got a balanced attack here between NFC and AFC. I think I'm going to go with the Chargers here as a dark horse candidate. I'm actually going to strategically target Justin Herbert because they could very well be peaking. I mean, that dynamic duo on the defense of Khalil Mack and Joey Bosa can create serious problems for opposing offenses. And Herbert, with now a healthy Keenan Allen and Mike Williams, and having Eckler out there. I mean, I love this Eckler-Herbert combo. You're just guaranteed to get all the points for that offense. And you throw in there, whether it's a Mike Williams or a Keenan Allen, you've got a complete Charger stack. And if they are peaking, because, before the season, they were definitely on the radar for winning the AFC West. He's going Miami. Rage is wanting a Miami stack. Stidham and Devontae Adams. We're trying to pick the players that are going to perform the best in the playoffs. We're talking playoffs now.
Playoffs?
Yeah, I appreciate that. I got a long ways to go before I can quit my day job, but that's the dream, man. That's the dream, dude. Dude, imagine the level of content. It would be every day, and it would be just so much diversification in the content, both on YouTube and on Patreon. But that would be fun to do full time. Here I go talking away, man. All right, so okay, I'm gonna diversify here. I guess I'm gonna go Singletary, and then I'm gonna snag Herbert. Something tells me Keenan Allen's gonna slide here. Let's see. So what'd you guys do? Somebody already took Kirk Cousins. Derek, of course. Okay. Kirk Cousins. Interesting. Scaldesi goes Waddle. Derek goes T-Hawk. Adds to his Cousins stack with Cousins and Hawkinson.
Tony.
Burrow, Mixon, Higgins. Scratch My CD's also got a little shield. Whew, excuse me. Goes Brock Purdy. That makes sense with Ayuk and Samuel. He's also got Allen and Diggs, so he's going with these little stacks. Oh, he's also got Gabe Davis down here. That's a very interesting. Rage, let's put Rage on the record. He wants to go on the record here. Big game is going to be Bills and Dallas, or Philly and Bills. Save the file. Matt wants a Philly. He wants a Philly and Bills Super Bowl. Be exciting. All right, back on the clock. Oh, C. Carter sniped Keenan Allen from me. That's okay. I go with the big threat and Mike Williams. I guess we'll go ahead and snag Mike Williams here. Probably need to snag another quarterback. Oh wow, Lamar Jackson's still out there. Trevor Lawrence is still out there. No, let's just go. Wait, let's do this, boys. I think I got a plan here. I'm gonna go Chris Godwin. I think it's the last 2 rounds, right? Yeah, last 2. Oh, there's 2 more rounds after this.
That'd be like if the Tampa resurgence were to happen in the playoffs, you'd put yourself in an elite position by taking super late picks for like Godwin, Evans, and a couple of these other guys.
Yeah, that's exactly what I'm doing, man. I'm gonna try and get Brady. So I've missed out on quite a few other guys. I wanted Cousins. But of course, Derek meddling in my action over here. It's got Burrow and Cousins. 2 great pocket passers. Burrow's got a sneaky mobility, though. Burrow can run the ball if he wants. And of course, he's not as mobile as a Lamar, but
Derrick Henry is a great pick, but they'd have to make the playoffs first, which it's not looking like they're going.
Tony Pollard's not going to sit out, but I'll give him a ring, see what I can do. Bridgewater got the keys this week in Rage. Got the keys. Look at Game Hova going with the Amon-Ra St. Brown in the 9th. Little Christian Kirk action. Man, I like the Kadarius Toney, but I think he kind of reached on him a little bit. That Juwan Jennings pick is interesting, but it's a full San Francisco bet. I'm loving the confidence, Matt. We're doing it, brother. We're doing it. We're pressing the button. This is some interesting picks here. I think we can go Dawson Knox. I think that's an interesting slice of the Buffalo offense. You know, another interesting pick is this MVS. I get a piece of the Chiefs passing attack. Could have a big game. And then we go Tom Brady. Get that second quarterback. Never know. You could get a monster game out of MVS in the playoffs on the Chiefs. That could be very helpful to this best ball roster. And then we got quarterbacks Tom Brady and Herbert. RBs, Cook, Eckler, Singletary. Got Mike Williams with Herbert and Eckler. And then we got Brady and Godwin. Didn't get a full – I guess I should have maybe gone Fournette there. Yeah, and did a full Tampa bet with Brady, Fournette, and Godwin, or Brady, Rashad White, and Godwin. So maybe that wasn't 100% optimal. I immediately thought of the potential upside with MVS. I was thinking ceiling, swing for the fences kind of thing. But look at this cat, this Game Hova guy, 1 quarterback. What is he going to do with his last pick? He's going to have to get another quarterback, right?
Jared Goff.
Yeah, I mean, that makes sense. Or Trevor Lawrence. Trevor Lawrence is out there.
He boofed it.
What? What do you get?
It had to have auto-picked something.
Oh, I guess it did. Let's see. Let's see. I guess it would be under drafts completed 2022 NFL playoffs. There it is. The mitten 2. The mitten 2. There we go. View full draft. View the board. No, he went with Justin Watson.
Oh, well.
At Kansas City. So he's riding out with Patrick Mahomes, expecting to make it all the way. Okay, well, good luck to you, sir. Could do it.
Yeah.
He took Justin Watson.
Can't hate on that. I mean, it's very possible.
All right, guys, that is the stream, man. We got to cut it off. We're at 3 hours. Whew, that's a new record, I think, Steve. Great stream tonight, man. We had to do it, man. This is our last live stream of 2022, and so we wanted to leave no stone unturned. I hope you guys had fun tonight. I had fun. Steve, any closing remarks for us?
Well, I am in my league final, in my home league, and I have to decide who to sub in for Tua. So what do you guys think about this one? There's not a lot out there. Russell Wilson, Mike White, Brock Purdy. Those are probably the best options. Or Mac Jones against Miami, which I wouldn't dare do. But what do you think about those? Is it Purdy time? Is it time to get a little Purdy?
Purdy, Mike White, or Russell Wilson?
Yeah.
Man, I don't know. I mean, I can't go Purdy. I just don't think he puts. I don't know. I think you got. Or do you need the upside or the floor?
Probably the floor. Yeah, probably. That's why I'm thinking him. He's been averaging over 25 points.
Oh, yeah, it's true. Okay. Yeah, roll with it. Roll with it, man. Do it. Put it on the kid.
Put it on him.
Put it on him, man. He's got the offense.
Picking him up right now.
It's in that spot.
All right. He's going in. Dink. There he goes. All right.
All right.
He's in the lineup.
It's in the lineup.
Let's see what happens. I'm not usually rooting for that guy or for that squad, but I will be this week.
Hey, man. First time for everything. This is a great way to finish 2022, man. Trying something new at the end of the year.
It's an awfully stressful way to go into your fantasy final championship game.
As I turn my heater on over here, because it's like, it feels getting cold in here, man. It's like, I don't know, in the 50s outside.
Ooh, careful now. Well, I had a good time, Andy. We ran the marathon tonight. We got a couple drafts in, got some good this weekend coverage for the games this weekend.
Yeah, buddy. All right, guys, let's rock and roll. Let's make 2023 better than 2022. I'll see you guys next year.
See you guys in the Discord and on
Yeah.
next week's live. Happy New Year, guys.
Happy New Year. Peace. You guys kick ass.